Done a
Yeah.
great job today.
Yeah. Put away the makeup sponges.
No, get away, get away, get away. Beyond.
Oh. These are comfortable chairs. Though.
Yeah,
Not bad. I do like these chairs.
this was a huge upgrade for barrel picks.
Oh yeah, there's the other ones over there that were kind of weird.
The
black
bucket chairs. I
Yeah.
like those.
Hmm?
I like them. Taking them out.
These are a little sturdier.
Exactly. Yeah. Even though those don't like. We're live talking about these chairs right now, but either
Chair talk.
Welcome
But,
to Chair Talk.
those ones there like they're stable, but when you sit on them like
They got a little wiggle on the bottom.
This
Yeah,
shit.
I had to tighten up like all these before the pick on Wednesday. All like the feet were wrong, and like I had to balance them back out. So hopefully they should work now.
That was far. Together. It was a Mike.
I think it was Adam.
Yeah, blame Adam. That's what it do. Blame it.
Well, I think they also just get like they loosen up as you sit on them.
Yeah. We got some big stuff back here. Just nice.
True.
Yeah.
It ain't us.
I'm not a part of
This
this.
saves you guys.
I mean, it ain't us. We're
No.
pretty normal guys. I feel like
Just normal dude.
just a bunch of.
Just normal dude.
out here, just, you know.
Yes, we did. Pretty normal.
Pretty normal. Well,
Pretty normal, usual guys back
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
It's a nice way to put it, right?
Yeah, I'd say. I'm trying to
just
be.
average guys. Just
Vanilla boring.
we didn't have to go that far.
Hey, CT, come take a look at this.
Uh-oh.
All right, back at it again.
I think that's working,
Boom.
and we're close to this now.
Oh yeah, perfect. That'll be the Facebook one. Actually, is better.
Well, yeah, of course. All right, here we go. Live from.
Live from Facebook.
Live from Facebook. Right now.
I'm going to share that while we start talking and stuff. Do. We'll get some music going on a little bit.
All right, we're going live.
In 3, 2.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Nice.
When did you get that?
Fantastic.
Do the welcome for YouTube, and this will pick up all the microphones in the far. Oh yeah, that works out good. We can be far away because we have the microphones. Now, you guys, and then anybody who's not, you can put your microphone on, you put your microphone on, and I'll put mine, and you guys just keep it right there, okay?
Yeah, this spot's good.
Share it. Yeah.
We can
All
share.
right. There,
All right, that's
there
all
it is.
Anywhere?
You can put it on.
All
Just come on.
right.
All right,
How do we look?
can you check both? Make sure we have
Don't
sound.
ask that question if you don't want to know the answer.
How we look?
Check Facebook and YouTube, just to make
About
sure
how we
there's
look?
sound. That's
Oh,
all.
great.
That's all we need is sound check.
My mom would tell me I looked fantastic. She never lies.
10-4. Those
Yeah.
microphones are all working. This microphone's working. Get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. I hope your warehouse isn't
Yeah,
haunted.
you guys are doing good over there.
Dude.
It's a little delayed right now, but
Well, I
it's
think
all
we're
right.
doing
Well, listen to the sound.
That's good.
Sound.
This looks like a good looking
sound.
panel.
Yep, that's perfect. There's
Cool.
sound on Facebook. Now check YouTube.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm not. I'm just.
No, you don't make me check YouTube because then I'm going to be off of the other thing and I'm going to have that. I got it all queued up and then I'm going to have it all messed up now.
Yeah, but we need to
Oh,
know there's sound on YouTube. If there's no sound, I gotta fix it. Everybody's sharing. Yeah, there should be sound.
Smart.
Well, we're gonna
Okay,
drink.
there it is. Wait,
That's what I
mean. Yeah.
Yeah, drink.
Okay. YouTube has okay. That was it, right? You didn't see
Yeah,
where was
just got to play. You know what? It's probably not going to play it because I have that other window open.
just sound.
It keeps.
Oh, you've got the other window to play the.
Yes. So
Oh,
that's what, hold on. Okay. Well, that has sound. Let's see if this has. That has sound.
yep. We're good.
There we go.
Oh, that's crisp.
Hey, we're there.
All right, now you could get that. I mean, we're live from Bank Distillery in Columbus, Ohio, and everything's working. So welcome people on YouTube and Facebook.
We're
That's
dysfunctional.
phenomenal. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole part of going live on YouTube, that gets it so that everything's working. Then once you know everything, so this is like pregame for everybody, a little bit extra.
a few seconds.
Okay, you got to get the
Just a few-
skip the ad.
I got to get through this.
Well, I didn't mind the hammer cleaning ad. It's
James loves those.
I love those restoration videos.
He always sends me those videos. Was the last one a coffee maker?
Where it belongs.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I look like, but
They don't
beside
matter.
the point, yeah.
They're not watching to see what you look like.
That's for sure.
That's how we look right here.
Should I do the shades? Because it's
We look good.
Do you think I should go with the?
I like it.
So I'm gonna test.
Nice.
I'm gonna test the AI in here
Oh, you got
today
the glass on?
because I'm gonna ask it mash bills, you know, and then see what it answers, and you guys could tell me whether AI is right or not, right? You know,
Tony, I
Yeah,
just want to
put
say
it to
that
bed.
the TV
You're gonna ask it the same question 5 times.
that great.
all right, so there's going to be like a 45-second where we just got to kind of be quiet. That plays the sponsor ad, and then you're going to hear him play the music, and then we go. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit the start recording here.
Awkward silence.
Why are you making so much noise?
Go.
I did something right.
That was tough. Now I see why my son has such a hard time doing that.
Sync
Oh, yeah.
synchronizing work.
That's such a long
Yes. Whole idea is to have fun, right?
That's a fact.
All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We are at High Bank. CT, you're going to do the introduction for everybody here because, you know how bad I suck at names.
I suck at names. I'm the worst.
Yeah, but you actually know
But
everybody.
I'm gonna
way
let
more than-
I'm gonna let Tony introduce everybody
Okay.
because Tony's gonna introduce everybody from High Bank and talk about everybody's position here. So Tony,
I mean, I'll
start with you.
Yeah, I'll start with myself.
Okay.
But, I'm Tony Thomas. I am the creative director here at High Bank. Everything you see, I do basically, right? Dylan, I'll let you go.
I'm the head of blending and task manager here, so everything that you taste here, I do.
And I'm James Whalen. I'm blending and production assistant. So everything you drink out of, I do.
Wow, this is pretty
That's awesome.
pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Very good.
And just know
Yeah.
that Tony, he's not wearing a hat, so everybody knows that he does
Yeah.
have hair.
Yeah.
So we
Needs-
have to
Yeah.
accentuate that.
I'm usually always wearing a hat, so
Yeah, well, but obviously you're the only one
not wearing a hat.
But that's on
The
purpose
memo.
today.
I do-
right?
yeah, I do.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
getting out there.
Yeah, I do.
And Tony, if people watch online, they see you a lot of times with Adam doing your breakdown
the
of
war
like
room.
release.
Yeah.
The war room. So you're the one, and they probably wouldn't recognize you because you don't have a hat on. So this is the same guy.
This
It is
probably,
the same guy.
probably been like 1 or 2 war rooms I haven't had. So out of the 100 and
There's been
Yeah.
quite a few.
Yeah.
I just think it's distillery attire, wouldn't
It
you?
is.
I mean, there's almost everybody wears a hat. Even
Yeah.
you'll see Jimmy Russell wearing a hat from time
Yeah.
to time. So, it's
But
like,
yeah, so we're sitting, everybody watching can see barrels around us. We didn't just put these magically in place for this. We're sitting in the war room. We're
Mhm.
sitting in the barrel house. When you come to High Bank, which this is one of 3 locations,
yes.
this is Grandview. And here we are at the spot behind where you would actually sit in the restaurant at the bar. You take a nice little stroll back here to this area. And if you've been to a private event, you guys do some awesome things. We just had March Madness here. That was freaking amazing. If anybody has a chance for that next year or any upcoming events, you want to do that. But you guys have done, I was here with Brady Quinn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was a heck
the
of
gala.
It's our, we did a fan
2 years
party.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was awesome. Everybody that he interacted with, talked,
I mean,
was just awesome.
Brady Quinn is just, I mean, besides being an ex-football,
Yeah.
quarterback, he's just cool. His
Yeah.
hair's cool. Everything about him is cool. I mean, and that just works perfectly for Ohio and
Yeah.
whiskey, right?
There
But
was
yeah.
a Brady Quinn aura when he was here. People
Dude.
definitely
Yeah,
flocked to
yeah.
him.
Uh,
You know,
Everybody knew the second he stepped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Elevated the
definitely
space.
cooler than any of
yeah.
that we were. So I mean, hey, I'm in. Let's,
Yeah.
but that was a 97.1 The Fan release.
Can you
for
guys get
It was
AJ
a
Hawk?
Van.
I mean, let's get AJ Hawk here.
Is,
We
is he
tried.
still with his sister?
What?
Yeah.
Are they still married?
Right?
Yeah, aren't they brother-in-laws?
All I know is that he promotes. He's now a big star on Pat McPhee, but still he would be perfect for if we could. I've always thought. I've reached out to him a couple times, but I haven't heard
To
anything.
AJ?
Yeah, I mean,
AJ Hawk, if you're watching.
yeah.
I mean,
You're right up the
Bobby
street. Come on
Carpenter's
down.
in here all the time. So
Yeah.
the other half of that linebacking court,
Yeah.
inside linebacking court, I
Yeah,
should say.
yeah.
I think he was here.
He was here for that event
Yeah.
too, I think.
I'll say he was here for that. Yeah.
My mom is an Ohio State alumni, but I grew up in Wisconsin. So not only does AJ, he covers all bases, Super Bowl for the Packers and national championship for Ohio State. So, that's like you get those dream guys in your head.
Well, and I think now with the addition of the basketball hoop, that we have a real opportunity to bring some Buckeye basketball players.
There
So
you go. Yeah.
that's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
Work on
Let's
Coach
work on that.
Goofus. He's just from Canton.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
I mean,
I haven't heard that
my
name in
son.
ages.
My son played basketball. It was on the same Glen Oak team. He was the other 7-footer.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
2 7-footers on a high school team?
Yep.
Man.
Dang.
Not at my school.
Mhm.
I would tell
Actually,
you,
I think we did too.
but honestly, most coaches have no clue what to do with 1 7-footer in high school, let alone 2.
I think we had a 7-footer who couldn't dunk, which was just sad.
No, he could do everything, but his head was in a different place than basketball.
Yeah.
I was kind on that statement, was I not?
You were very,
Yeah.
very, very, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, all right. So today we're gonna do a food pairing in a little bit, which
Yeah,
is
so this is-
phenomenal.
This will
right?
be the first ever that we have done where we're going to go through a lineup and then pair it with food. But I think for you guys, it's probably the first. You haven't done like
We haven't done
live
it
like this.
officially. We've definitely done some pairings here. I
Sure.
think we just did a thing Clock Tower. We did a whiskey and food pairing there.
Okay.
Here at High Bank, though, officially on a podcast, this will be the first.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the thing we talked about bringing to light here is, I mean, you guys are doing phenomenal stuff with whiskey, but the bar and restaurant is awesome.
Yeah,
And-
whiskey's won a lot of accolades. The bar and restaurant has also won a lot of
Yeah. So
accolades.
tying them together for this makes sense.
Yeah,
It definitely does. So
Well, yeah, even at your other location, you put in a small still to be able to do not get around, but actually become part of how you have to do it in Ohio.
Yes.
If you want to so the restaurant is almost as important as the distillery because so when we were talking, I was thinking, just do a pairing. We've paired foods before, but not anything like a restaurant preparation like we're doing today.
Mhm.
And I want to say something. If you watch all the food critics now, and I'm sure they've been in your place, how they do that one-on-one and they smash it. That's what we got to do. We got to We got to make. Not that the food isn't phenomenal here because we've eaten multiple
yeah.
times, but we got to really, I mean, play it up like we're the food critics. Oh my God, no, I'm gonna smash this or whatever. I mean, so I
What's
think
up?
that should be the way to do it.
Have a seat. You have a seat. You're good.
Yeah.
I'll just be an audience.
But yeah, I think definitely we do that. And since Eric will be standing here, you can smash it if you don't like it in front of him. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
do
I love that. Yeah.
Eric, I love it all. I love it all. Let's just
Yeah,
tell him that.
it's Eric listening.
Act like he's
He's
listening.
back
He's
there
always
somewhere.
listening.
He's
always
he's like, I'm very sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say. I'll double up on that. Is I mean, we can make our products as good as they are, or as good as we try to make them. That's going to give people a reason to come here once. The food, the atmosphere, the cocktails. That's going to get people to come back continuously.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, they'll come here once if our whiskey's good enough. They can go buy that at a liquor store. But the food, that's what
Mhm.
Keep
that
bringing
gets
it back,
people
right?
back
It's
in the
also
building.
Oh yeah.
cool. This pairing we're gonna do, you can actually do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like, you
right.
know, you
Yeah.
But come to High Bank, you can get the the whiskey war, the cigar cast double, and you can try it with the items. Right,
And this is a rare restaurant because there's not too many restaurants that really do flights well. You come in up front, even if you have no idea that what you like, you can sit down. The waiter will tell you, hey, you want to do just a standard thing, which would be like whiskey war, maybe the wine blended
midnight.
midnight cask. They'll put you on a nice setup, and it always comes with those nice little cards telling you a little bit about it. And I think people really like that. Like it's something they're doing something other than just sitting down and drinking.
Yeah,
It's like it's
it's
like an
educational.
experience.
It's educational.
Yeah, the experience is way different.
Yeah, you're drinking with a purpose, right? So
Yeah.
just drinking the drink.
Mhm.
You know, we're adults now. We're not we're not middle school anymore. We're drinking with a purpose. Oh, we're not in college anymore. That's the
There you go. They found it.
What about grade school?
Yeah.
Not there.
But yeah, drinking with a purpose, with a purpose, right? Intention, not just drinking it, just to get drunk.
So before we go on to the bourbon, talk about the other locations too, because people around Columbus, they're kind of in different spots. So we're here in Grandview. What else do we have going on?
Other distilleries around us?
No.
No, you
High
are.
Bank.
Yeah, our other locations.
Oh.
Yeah, with High Bank.
I would say most currently, these guys will probably know more of some maybe behind the scenes stuff because I don't want to say too much, but I know we just came out with a barrel proof bourbon. I know we are doing some other stuff with our bourbon that we make in house that I don't know if we can say out loud yet, so I'm not going to say it.
We
Probably
won't.
not.
Yeah.
Probably better not.
No.
We'll have to bleep that part.
We're already
Yeah.
doing
Well,
one.
I mean,
You
that's
said
not
it's
say we're
coming,
doing stuff.
but
Let's not say what it was, right?
You better be doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole. You hope. Yeah.
But yeah, our barrel proof bourbon just came out. Delicious, by the way. We're definitely doing obviously more things with whiskey war. We do a lot of finishes with it. We us being a small distillery, we can do a lot of unique and creative things. And if they go bad, you won't hear about them. And if they go great, you'll definitely taste them. So
That's
yeah.
the beauty of craft.
He was
Yeah.
also talking about other locations.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So-
second location is Gahanna, which is right off Morrison 62.
Yep.
So Gahanna, New Albany area. And then thirdly, which is a big part of the High Bank story and how Whiskey Board got its name. Our third location is rightfully so in Westerville, right on Main Street.
And that is an old bank, correct?
Old post office.
Or post
Post
office.
office,
Sorry,
Yep.
I said bank. I
It
meant
has
post
like a big
office.
vault that makes you think.
Well, I was going to say, are you guys even allowed into the speakeasy? Do you even have access?
Well, I better. My wife's
mean-
the GM there.
Oh, well, now we see how you get it.
Yeah. A minor flex, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that location is amazing. Like to sit out in the front, especially if you're at the bar looking out the window onto the street. I mean, it's just super cool.
Mhm.
But the experience to go down the steps and you're in this post office and then whoop, open the door and here you go. It's very, very cool.
Yeah,
it's
she's been
called PO Box 21.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely plays off that whole aesthetic of the post office.
Wouldn't you guys say right now we're in the era of speakeasies? I mean, you don't have to have them, and they disappeared for so long. There were so few of them. Like I'm from Milwaukee originally, and there was the Safe House, and it's one of the it was a speakeasy in the 20s, but now everywhere you go, and the how well it's done is just amazing because we were just in New Orleans and we're at the Westin Hotel and we're walking and had no idea and the whole wall opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a party going on, and that's the great thing
Oh,
about
yeah.
speakeasy. But you just see that's almost like I think it's just I think you guys all finished off all your bathrooms because every single distillery has it's like a competition on bathrooms. I mean, me and my wife when we're traveling and when we have to stop, we stop at distilleries. We don't go to gas stations because the bathrooms are just so phenomenal. And high banks, I have to admit, it's just as phenomenal as other
Yeah.
competes with there. But now that that's all done, it seems like now it's a speakeasy kind of thing, like competition between it. And it's like how even more hidden
Yeah.
can we get it? You got it in a post office, old post office. So, you know, what do you think? Do you think that's about it? Like everybody's, it just seems like no matter where you go, there's one.
Well, I think it was like this. All right, there's this era of now that drinking's acceptable again. Everything was like, oh, let's get high energy, let's get the drinks flowing, loud music, and now I think that there's this like return to like, okay, the
Nostalgia.
sophistication, this
Yeah.
like lo-fi vibes.
I also think like the getaway experience,
Yeah.
right? Like, oh, you go to speakeasy, you're going to like another era of time
Yeah.
or another place, right? And it's kind of, you can just, you don't have to like travel far to get there. So I think it's also like the guest experience is much more elevated now with these speakeasies than just going to a dive bar. Not that anything's wrong with dive bars. I go to them. But
But it's like dive bar with exclusivity,
yeah.
Well,
in
right.
which that's like what everybody's chasing.
And it's mostly it's like it's kind of like the whiskey and bourbon elite for everybody, you know, because you're good. But it's gonna the way that you get into this club is like bourbon, right? You love bourbon or you love whiskey. That's your entrance, not always you know, hire cash or
Yeah.
being a celebrity.
Mm.
Because celebrities just can rent out the whole
Yeah.
distillery when they want to, you know, leave
Yeah.
that up to them, right?
But yeah, so the locations are great. The thing that I've noticed, and I've went to each one of them and went to Gahanna when it opened, and they're very unique in their own way. Like it's not a cookie cutter McDonald's type place where they all look the same. Each has its own vibe. I feel like Gahanna's got more of the restaurant vibe.
Mhm.
Here has more of that distillery vibe,
definitely.
obviously.
Yeah.
And then you go to the new location, and that post office just has a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, very white, very clean,
Yes.
very just a it's just got a killer vibe too. So it's good to see all that going on, and we talk about this a lot in the bourbon world because people keep saying, "Oh, bourbon's on a downtrend," and we're like, it's adjusting. Bourbon, the world is adjusting every day.
Yeah.
And you guys are showing that it can be adjusting in a positive manner where your three places are still doing well.
Mhm.
You're still coming out with new batches. You're not saying, oh no, we don't, we're not coming out with new batches because it's on a trend down. It's not. You guys are doing just great. So
Well, I think just knowing a little bit about like when bourbon started its comeback, it was like 7% of the market was whiskey, and now it's 12%. But you knew it wasn't going to take back. At one point, it had to level off. You know, where yeah, you might lose some people, but you're gaining people. But it's maintaining that you know that you're still can sell bottles and people are. But you know, and that's what I found that you couldn't. They couldn't keep growing forever.
Right.
You
no,
know, and
not at the artificial way they were. That was just a
well, I can't wait because everybody has a lot more stuff. And so
Yeah,
that's
That's
really
true. It's
nice
gonna get
that-
real old.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's going to be a lot more age statement.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot more special bottles, and that's kind of what you guys excel at, those special bottles.
Yeah.
When you have a high bank whiskey, you feel like there is something special done to it. You guys
Yeah.
do a good job of that.
Yeah, I think that
It's
Adam-
bank.
it is
Yeah,
bank.
there you go.
Take it.
You can
Money
take
to
that
the
to the
bank.
bank.
Yeah, I think Adam did a great job. I mean, historically, blended bourbon doesn't have a great reputation. Only needing to be 20% straight whiskey, it's full of additives, and I think that's what Adam did with Whiskey War. I mean, the first win at San Francisco, people were like, okay, this isn't just a blended whiskey. This is actually just great whiskey in general.
Yeah.
We're not reinventing the wheel, but the wheel that we produce rolls pretty damn well.
I like that.
And I think like then nowadays, I mean, we're not the only ones putting out a blended whiskey that is out of this world.
Well,
Right.
There's
a lot of
wasn't-
people.
The old days, it was blend for quantity and price
yeah,
point
hiding.
because
hiding.
you were
Yeah.
hiding stuff, right?
Right, exactly.
Nowadays, the blenders are
Flavor.
you're talking about the blending for quality.
Yeah.
You're talking about the respect of and just making something taste better.
Yeah.
And and there's a lot of times the rules of bourbon keep you from going for that little extra taste. Now,
Yeah.
when I first got into this, which is not that long ago, it was like finished bourbons were just getting raked over the coals, right?
Yes.
And now finished bourbons are accepted and what people look forward to. And I used to say something
Hey,
about
Eric,
a
you
finished
can set
bourbon,
that
and you'd be
right
like,
up here on the corner.
they'd be like with the
Right.
bourbon, they'd be like, that's not bourbon. That's had a finish to it. It's not pure. And now you never hear that. It's just like, what's that next one? And they just went crazy with finish. Every single cask, every single wood, every single wine has been, and that is something that was so fresh to see because it became, it's how I think we got the younger generation involved too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Adam said something pretty cool. Well, I said cool, but he said something.
I'm not quite
Yeah, I don't want to give this much credit. No, the last barrel pick we just did, they asked us basically what our favorite whiskey was outside of High Bank, right? And his comment kind of was, he names other whiskeys, but he was like, well, whiskey war, because my goal when I blended it was to make a whiskey that was my favorite.
Yeah.
So like it's sounds cliche saying whiskey war is his favorite whiskey, but he was like, I made this whiskey so it tasted the best to me, right? It just so
And-
happens that, other people agree it tastes
Yeah.
good,
And that's the one we're leading off with today. We're going to start with the original Whiskey War. And Eric just brought out a plate number 1. So I'm going to
Yeah.
let you talk about it as you pour and pass.
Yeah, I'll pass the dish here and some plates down, and I'll start pouring.
So yeah, tell us, what are we eating here? This is
This is a burrata cheese dip,
all right.
and what's in it exactly? No idea. Where did Eric go?
Keep
It's
going.
like a little arugula. We
Yeah.
got little sourdough crostinis. I think that is a peach jam, and that is burrata, or aka slutty mozzarella, with
Does
a
it
little
go with
balsamic
the
glaze
two or
there.
one or the other?
I would cut it open and
Oh,
spread
yeah,
it on
yeah,
that
yeah,
bread.
spread it,
Yeah, I mean, you can do both. I would probably go peach jam base
This
and
right
then
here.
just
So we're gonna pair this with
burrata at
whiskey
the top.
So
That sounds good.
our barrel proof whiskey war is
So
what
we cut
Adam
it open?
blended when he originally blended whiskey war, and we're gonna taste basically the watered down version first.
Okay.
Acclimate our palates a little bit, even
Mhm.
though we may have already done it earlier, to work up to the higher proof.
So yeah, this is what our restaurant originally opened up with back in 2018. So this is kind of fitting that we are doing
Yeah.
a food pairing as well, because we are the first distillery in the state of Ohio that was actually built from the ground up as a distillery concept with a bar and kitchen attached to it, thanks to some legislation that was passed in 2017.
Very cool. So yeah, so this is something, is this on the menu, this particular dish? Is this a brunch menu only, or is this?
This, I believe, is both.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
going to say.
yeah, I think
There are some things, because we talked about it earlier, like the hot honey pizza, which we all love. Everybody loves when they come here. But that's only available after 2, 3, what time?
It's
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock switches over.
reset.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the thing people,
Little pores.
and if you're watching, you're gonna see is that this is not a typical restaurant. This isn't bar food, so to speak, that you would get at your local tavern. This is elevated. If you're still gonna call it bar food, maybe, but it's elevated. It's not the same.
That is the best way to explain it. Elevated casual.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Well, on game day, I will stress.
Yeah.
On game days, it feels like you got a sports bar atmosphere of people just kind of. But then when you come on other days or you come at night, that's when you get a little bit different.
Correct.
But overall, the restaurant has a great atmosphere about it.
Yeah, we do transition pretty well from like sports bar to casual dining. Like, if there's a Buckeye game going on, sometimes we'll turn the audio on in certain rooms in the restaurant, things like that, kind of, accommodate for people that want to watch the Buckeyes. And, some people don't care about sports. They can sit at the front of the restaurant
Yeah.
and just enjoy, a casual dining experience. So,
I think we came here right before Def Leppard and
Yep. Concert warm up.
yeah, it was Motley Crue. Yeah, it was concert warm up. All
But
right.
the thing about Whiskey War, and being the first thing that Adam said that it was put out when we were here for the March Madness. If you went to shoot basketball, and you bought a ticket, which that money went to charity.
Yeah,
You got a little pour of Whiskey War.
Mhm.
I hadn't drank regular Whiskey War
in a
in a
while.
long time
Yeah.
because honestly, it's like
Sadly enough,
it's because there's so much other stuff. You drink the barrel proof, we drink the double doubles, the everything, and that was so good.
I forgot to get.
Oh, here you go.
You forget.
the man who started.
I was so focused on
Tony's hungry down there.
I gotta pass
some
I gotta pass this well.
But it was so good to go back to it.
Well,
Oh,
Oh, here
there's the man, the myth, the legend.
Eric, what's up? You wanna walk back here and explain the burrata cheese and this?
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
setting this pairing up.
Yeah. This is. It looks and smells amazing. We can't wait.
They're coming.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
coming behind us
right
here.
here.
Yeah, just come back behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Talk.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So to start, we have our burrata appetizer. This is pretty simple. A burrata, balsamic glaze, house-made peach jam, and then we just have like a simple salad with lemonette on it. So it's got a lot of acidity, a lot of sweetness. It's also modular, so it's I think a good start to the pairing. But
Very nice. Looks amazing.
Thank you, chef.
That's perfect.
there'll be 4 more times of this. So.
Nice.
Wonderful.
We'll be here.
They're gonna be on camera today, here.
That is good just for the base.
Yeah, it's easy. It's got everything you want.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
What I really appreciate about you guys that I didn't know before is you chose no lettuce as well. So you
Well,
earn bonus points. You earn bonus points in my
I-
book.
Mine snuck in with a.
The lettuce part is great. If I was having this as an appetizer, yeah, but
I'm
we're
a no
good.
lettuce, no
Well, I
tomato
think the
guy.
greenness might come in. Like that might have paired well with the rye.
A little arugula
Being
spice.
rye, some greenness.
I was just following the trend. I didn't want to be. Didn't
Oh,
want to rock the
okay.
boat.
Okay.
Some silverware.
And napkin
Yeah.
might be a good one.
Oh, that,
You're not
I
sad.
didn't know the balsamic was going to come in, but I think that's going to pair that
there you go, Jeff.
again. The acidity from that.
Okay.
Everybody got one?
That's really good.
Um.
The
Wow.
jam and the whiskey is what I'm excited to
So
try.
so when it comes to your this high bank expression that we're having right now, it's your general one that's on the shelf in Ohio
Yeah.
and everything. So talk about the evolution now. You know, you were talking 2017 and now we're 2026.
Ooh.
Where has it's been always about blending and whatever, but we all know that what's available on the market now at this point is a lot cheaper and it's also more plentiful. So you can get for the same price you might have been be able to when you first started to get a 4 year. Now you can get a 6, 7, 8 year for so talk about how the actual products evolved or if it evolved or is it stay are we trying to stay consistent, with that or just talk about that.
Yeah. So I think this goes back to like what we talked about prior to us even going live is the whiskey in general. Just we are able to play around with it so much more. It's more artistic. The bourbon, much stricter regulations, but again, with Adam's artistic background, we're not really following strict age limit guidelines. I mean, everything as of us winning our first best blended whiskey award is 4+ years. I believe everything now that I'm blending is right around 7 or just shy of 7. And that's the youngest barrels going in. Most of it's 8, 8.5. So
And the price hasn't really changed.
no.
I mean, you're still same price point as you were.
$5 over the
Yeah.
last 6 years. Yeah. So that's something that we
Yeah.
that we take a lot of pride in that you can.
Yeah.
And yeah. So when Adam put the blend together, what the sort of the 3 main factors that he wanted to follow up on was taste, obviously, as the most important thing, but affordability to source the barrels and to be able to sell the bottles and availability of it. So we source everything for Whiskey Wars from MGP. So the 95% rye mash bill, which is sort of the base of it, and then 21% rye bourbon and 36% rye bourbon. So those are the 3 mash bills that we blend together in our secret recipe, and that is Whiskey War.
And that's pretty crazy because of all the people that you talk to that are doing MGP, which I mean, obviously it's a lot. Don't hear too many people blending those mash bills
Right.
together. They're either
No.
using it as a base to
Yeah.
put in another barrel or whatever. I don't know of anybody that I've heard that's taking those 3 mash bills and saying, we're going to combine them and come up with a.
Well, I think it was again, they don't want to lose that bourbon distinction. So nobody's playing with the 95. They're leaving it alone. to
Mhm.
preserve their distilling equipment because rye is so hard on
Yeah.
your distilling equipment. So rather than cooking your own rye, you source a 95 from MGP and then you release your own rye.
Yeah.
But then you blend with their bourbons and then you release your own blended bourbon.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
us throwing that 95 in, I mean, we get the spiciness,
Yeah.
the herbalness of that 95 rye.
It's way different. I mean,
Pair that
for
with the
sure.
sweetness of the bourbons.
Yeah.
Well, I would say whiskey war. If I was going to say what this is, it's whiskey. You know what I mean? It tastes and drinks like, because a lot of, what for me, after tasting so much, it's like there are whiskeys or bourbons that I consider dessert. There's some that are fruity. You know what I mean? They have those flavors and it's different. I love all that variety, but at the same time, then there's the bourbons which are like they taste like a bourbon or a whiskey tastes like a whiskey.
Yeah.
Like even for me for scotch, I don't like a lot of peat. So if it's not peated and I get that malt flavor, it has a specific flavor consistent throughout all the brands and the barrel is so limited in what it gives it, it's just kind of like I know what that flavor is. But then if it's peated, that's when you start to get into, well, it's peated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this tastes like a whiskey. Like there's not a lot, there's some sweetness, but it's like you're not picking up like those deep caramels or you're not getting that, but you're still getting that nice whiskey flavor.
Yeah. You can do anything with it. I mean, you can
And-
take it in any direction.
Right. And so this would be perfect for
When
the
it has
pairing,
those
right?
sweet notes in it too that are nice.
Yeah.
It's got
On the nose, I got like almost an apricot.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's way more complex than what you expect it to be. Like you'd expect it to be just, oh, drink it, it goes down. No, it's got a lot more, and the nose is really good.
There's a little caramel, but not. It's still it's there,
Yeah.
but it's not overpowering.
Mhm.
And I like overpowering, but I'm just saying there's some that are whiskey, and that's what it is.
So talk about so before we get the next one, because I'm
Mm.
sure Eric will be coming in with it. What has this bottle won? What is it part of the
So
original?
most recently, I'd say is probably the biggest award that it's received or the biggest accolade at San Francisco last year. It received a 99 out of 100.
Wow.
That's by far the highest that Black Label has received at any competition. Again, that was Black and Green Label with 99s out of 100. And both of those were runners up for best blended whiskey in America.
That's
And
that's
at
awesome.
88 proof.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
think you want that big, bold
No,
flavor profile from an 88 proof.
no. I mean, people are buying that, expect it to have, if it has some complexity, great, like it
100%.
does. And
Yeah.
then, but I can drink it. It's
Yeah.
not like
And you can mix it and you don't feel
Yeah.
bad about it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see because 88 proof is good. Like I said, it's what I want when I'm having just something.
And it pairs well, great.
Oh,
I mean,
this is a-
but this is
this is a combination.
this is
Yeah.
it is not
It's
overpowering this. It just
Not
works.
Mm-mm.
And it almost adding that sweetness to it as well.
Yeah.
It's like
The
apple.
That was my biggest balsamic bite, so I'm curious.
It's like you're drinking a wine. Yeah, it like pulls the apricot almost pulls this to like you're having some wine. It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time. What's my first time? My first time in a long time having just a black whiskey war.
Yeah.
In a Glen.
No,
yeah.
yeah.
Like it's something.
I can't remember the last
Same
time.
thing. You drink so many other things because there's more. That stays the same for the most part.
Yeah,
All these keep changing because there's a new batch. There's a new batch. There's a new batch.
but it's also the base. Like I find that
Yeah.
with what we're doing, if I was drinking everybody's base whiskey all the time, I would probably be an alcoholic because there's so much else
Fair.
out there. You're always just tasting that, and most people when they send it to
Old
you,
fashioned.
There we go. Black
Austin-
Label whiskey.
Yep.
Yeah,
Austin
Black Label
behind
whiskey
the
war.
camera
Yeah,
taking
that's what we use in our old fashions at the bar. Like I said, I think it's easy to take in any direction. You add a little simple syrup, a couple bitters, and it's an old fashioned. You add some vermouth.
every single distillery needs the
Yeah.
whiskey because of the fact that it's got to go in mixers and it's got to be good enough to stand up. And 88 proof, I think if you were at 80 proof, which is it would work.
There's
be
a lot of people
soft.
that use 80 proof.
Yeah.
You know, there
That's
are,
not good.
but that's but no, I like 80 proof. I mean,
No, I mean 80 proof. There's the wells that they use at a lot of places
Oh,
for
for
their old
drinks?
fashions is terrible because it's a certain brand that I'm not going to say, but
Mm.
they don't do well. in a cocktail because it doesn't taste good on its own. This
Wells
tastes
don't
good on
do
its own.
well. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
bad calling that a well.
Yeah. And you guys, speaking of that, so the old fashioned here, if anybody comes, and I'm sure people watching have been here, it's a great old fashioned. Plus, it's smoked.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
smoking, I think they use pecan chips. Is that what she's?
Cherrywood.
Cherrywood.
Cherrywood
Cherry,
chips. Yeah.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Cherrywood chips. Uh-oh.
Thank
Chef's
you.
here. We got a new batch. Oh. All right. You pouring, Tony?
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric.
Again, back to the elevation thing. That's what we do.
Yeah. And that
We
is,
could
it's
just
like,
put out a regular.
I've always
old-fashioned,
said, an old fashioned on the bar made in front of people. The smoking
Yeah.
in front of people invites other people
Yeah.
to want to do it.
like it's a conversation
It's
starter.
like,
Yeah.
oh, what's that? I want that.
And it looks
Yeah.
great. It's super fun. It's a nice show, and then they can seal it up and they unveil the smoke at the table. It's,
The show.
yeah, people like it.
Once we get these,
Boston, did you know this was happening?
I told him it was.
All right, there we go. Come on.
So
I don't feel a lot of hype yet.
Yeah.
Where's the clap, the cheers.
After the whiskey. you-
Austin just got back from the KBF dinner,
Oh, okay.
so he's the one who went to it.
I wonder if he met George. George was up by us in Canton. He's driving. He's like, "Can you put a good word in with your connection to the KBF? I'm just going to try and go to the dinner." And I'm like, I call him. He's like, "There's no extra tickets. There's no nothing." And all of a sudden, I get a text from him. I got in the dinner.
It was a good time. It was nice.
Oh my gosh! All right, Chef, you want to come back and tell us what we're getting ready to eat? While we're
But the
this looks
summarized-
amazing.
I would say that that's a great starter. Your high bank, whatever. It went so well with the apricot.
Yeah,
it just
that
was like
beautiful.
perfect if you're coming here to pair some whiskey. I would start with that of what you did.
Yeah, it's kind of like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
That was the point of it. Second course, I suppose we have
hurry up.
chorizo rangoons.
Get your
These are our most
grubby
popular
hand.
brunch appetizer, but they're house-made chorizo, cream cheese, pickled peppers in there, and they comes with side spicy ranch. So a bit heavier, except for fried app, but a good I think second course just to kind of establish foundation.
presentation in the cast iron skillet's pretty.
Rustic. Yeah.
I love that.
Talking raccoon, man. That's my thing.
These are phenomenal.
All right, so Tony? What are we pairing this with now that we know what we're eating?
So we're ramping up on the proof a little bit. This is our barrel proof whiskey board. This is batch number 127, proofed at 117.56. Our barrel proof whiskey war actually won Best Blended Whiskey in America in 2021 in the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, which is the largest, if not, one of the largest spirit competitions in the world. We then won it again in 2022 for our double oak whiskey war, which this one here, but it was a barrel select at the time. And then I'm sorry, double. This is the name, sorry. Which is a barrel select at the time, and then we won it again in 2023 for our double Pinot Noir finish.
Double oaked finish in Pinot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the batch that we have today, 127. This is the most recent, correct? Not even.
Yep.
It is
Yeah, so
currently on the table.
This came off the bottling table today.
Today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Today.
So
it was
we.
bottled yesterday.
So
Yeah.
this will be our first, my first one.
When is it available at the distillery?
So it'll come out. We don't really do it as a true batched releases. We just sort of treat the black label and the green label as they sort of flow interchangeably. But
Okay.
I would
Oh, this is
expect it
crazy.
end of this
Within-
week,
yeah.
probably. Yeah, within the week or so, it should be around. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, this will be out on the OHLQ Liquor Sub.
It's so funny.
Surely.
You guys are doing your best not to make it seem like it's just the regular release,
Hey.
people. You don't all have to
Don't
come
freak
today.
out.
Yeah.
Well,
and that is something that happens, right? It's just like when you guys are releasing, there is a local community that just supports this brand, right?
and I think when they watch Tony's thing with Adam when they do the whiskey war room, that helps too. People,
Yeah.
you taste things and people are like, oh, I've been waiting for one to have that note. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, and I've had people at Ohio Craft Whiskey Fest or the Whiskey Fest. People are coming hey,
Yeah.
what batch
What
tastes
batch
like
you had?
cherry? What batch
Oh.
is like this? And it's like, oh, go look
Put
at
it on
this
there.
one.
I'm gonna tell you what, 127 is fire. That is a
I
killer.
had to taste it. This nose.
That's a killer bottle.
So
And whoever did Eric come up with this? These Rangoons?
He might.
I don't know, but that pairs well together.
Yeah.
These Rangoons.
I like this.
So I haven't had the Rangoon, but
Oh.
already the apricot, the toast, what whatever it's called, right? Well,
Yeah, the burrata cheese.
the burrata cheese. Yes, yes. Thank you. It sounds much better when you say it that way. It pairs well with that. The sweetness,
Yeah.
really. It's like we had a little taste of it before, and the sweetness now is coming off like it's exploding. Like there was a lot more brown sugar. Wouldn't you say?
I
Now this is barrel strength bourbon.
Yeah.
This is
That's the same whiskey
still
war.
whiskey.
Okay, so now
no,
this
this
is
is
These will.
this is the
Yeah.
blend.
This is
and
still that
cast
blend.
strength.
Yep.
So
So
now to do cast strength, do you put the blends together at cast strength and then come up, or do you actually put it in all once you have the batch, put it back in a barrel for a while?
No, so this is just strictly harvested from the barrels and then blended.
Okay.
So yeah, no additives outside of that. What it comes out of the barrels at, I mean, like I said, we're sourcing
120
this.
something, I think.
Or
118,
117.56.
117.56.
117, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we're working with different age statements, and everything's coming out at different proofs from those barrels. So
Yeah, this is the
that's-
grandfather of our.
What it comes out is what it comes out.
yeah,
right?
exactly. What I get is what I get.
If you're not going to eat your Rangoon, I'll take it.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, these are fantastic.
Those are insane, Eric. Oh my God.
It's a food pairing, not an inhalation.
I'm going to need more of those.
I think that was a really good pairing.
The viscosity of this batch.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, the legs on it are awesome.
So it's got a little the Rangoon has like a little bit of a spice.
It's that cheese.
And it's just beautiful. So you
And-
got that nice cheese. It's like a
But the barrel proof does a
Shepherd
good
kettle.
job of just kind of taking it down. Like this being a little bit hotter, I guess,
Yeah.
if you want to say proofier, works better with this. Yes.
It does.
Yeah, I
This
think
would have overpowered the first thing.
the youngest barrel in there is January 18th, 2019. So
I always find
quite an increase on the age statement from
Yeah.
what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I always find like whenever there's cheese involved on a pairing, a lot of times it pulls out like almost like the bar, like almost like an ale flavor out of it. And this was
Like that lactose
yeah,
brings out. Yeah.
I forgot to take pictures. We got the video, but I don't have a
The
picture
photo
of
of the Eden wrap.
He's got to remember what it looks like so we can get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know a lot of breweries are messing around with like,
Espresso apple
milkshake IPAs and stuff. They're playing with lactic acid.
That sounds weird. I don't know if I can do that.
Delicious.
It's like a creamier IPA.
And I'm a Rangoon critic, okay, because I like them toasty. I want the middle
Did you
to
just say you're a Rangoon critic?
be crab Rangoon or whatever. The way that it's cooked is so important, and he's cooked them perfect.
Oh, there.
I like the outside to be toasty and crunchy,
Mhm.
with the middle to be like, so, and that combination on
good.
Rangoon is always so delicious, and that he really came through on that.
This pairing, as insane as it is, because people watching don't know that we kind of put this together on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys sat there, talked, Eric, kind of come up with,
Yeah.
but this with this is just, I don't know that you could put any two better.
I think we had safe pairings until Eric walked in. And
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
we definitely texted some ideas
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
ran them by Eric. Eric confirmed some and then switched others, which that was the goal, right? You know, he is the chef. So
Yeah.
That spice of the cheese, though,
Well,
that has that spice, like you said, Jeff. This has enough bite that it goes with it. Otherwise, it would just fight each other.
Yeah, and
I mean, just going into what a chef does, why it's good to run that by, because one, they know how much stuff they order. Two, you know what I mean? So, and then two, they know what they want to promote, that, and also what would go good with whiskey, I think. And so when you guys came, he probably chose and then probably threw a couple things in, right?
yeah.
I bet he's had our food with whiskey paired together
Many-
more often than the three of us. I guarantee Eric's had more whiskey in the food pairings.
Yeah, probably back in that room back there.
back
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that-
He does his own food pairings.
On that one, then, like I was talking before, that bazooka bubblegum on this
Oh,
one, all of a
man.
sudden, holy man. When you
But
get
you're right. I didn't recognize that at first, but that bazooka like flavor of that bubble
Yeah.
gum is
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, I think most traditional bubblegum flavors is banana, pineapple, cherry. So big cherry pop, I think.
Yeah,
is,
which goes with
yeah.
that rye.
Yep.
Yeah, that rye.
That's,
Yeah,
that's,
which is
that's what's bringing it.
so nice about the blend is that you have the rye and you have the bourbon, so it's the sweetness and the spice. They sort of sit together, and it plays well with pretty much everything.
Yeah, the way this coats your mouth, and then you have a beat of the
It's funny though, that cask strength opposed to regular 88 proof. This drinks a lot more like a bourbon. Like you get more bourbon off that, where that drinks more like, you can taste all the with, whatever. Where this, I think it's probably because of the sweetness that's coming.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get the
for
sweetness
sure.
back in the barrel proof for sure.
Yeah, taking it down to that 88 proof, you lose a lot of the nuances. Also, I mean,
Yeah, that's-
water being a large majority of it being.
So barrel proof, we are on batch 127.
Mhm.
So how long has that product been in existence? Do we know?
I think that one sat in its out for quite a bit.
But
we-
barrel proof as a label, is that what
Yeah,
you mean?
that barrel proof has been available since
shortly after 2018.
it was
yeah.
it the second thing introduced?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as whiskey products, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So we opened with a vodka, gin, and then
Black
Black
Label.
Label Whiskey War, and
Okay.
then barrel proof was
Yep.
that fourth product right behind.
All right.
The
What was
sauce
third?
Like the cheese.
Midnight cask? But not barrel strength, just regular.
Just regular
The low
midnight
proof,
cask,
82
yeah.
proof midnight cask.
Because
And then double oak.
Yeah.
when I used to come in here
It's that.
before all this stuff existed, I would buy at the bar midnight cask and barrel proof, and I would blend them at the bar and drink them.
The midnight cask barrel proof.
And
There you go.
and I'd make my own blend, and then you guys came out with
Well-
barrel proof midnight cask.
I
And I'm
think
like,
actually the third what would have been, third is hand sanitizer.
I didn't blend.
I think
next,
I
yeah.
think the
Oh,
sanitizer
holy-
was
wait a
before-
second.
We're no rush. We can get
pictures.
which I
Hold on, I'm taking pictures of this. What
in
in the-
reading, I think it was along the
Listen.
What?
research as to
We are getting ready to have
that I was talking
pancakes.
below that was people are finding out that their whiskeys and distillates come out way more bitter if they distilled the hand sanitizer. Yeah.
Take 5.
Mama, not gonna make it home today. These look insane. I
They're
think
good.
pancakes.
How fluffy those look. Yeah.
I tell you what, when we have master's bone glasses,
He's probably mad.
and there's 2 in a day,
No.
pancakes are always my go-to.
Oh, these look.
I have
The
returned.
top one in
So.
half, or whatever you're taking. What are you doing?
I'm just trying. I'm just trying to get a
Need
piece.
some help, Tony? Or?
I'm just trying to get a piece, guys.
May I call your mom for you?
Clearly enough. 1, 2, 3.
Do you need her to cut that for you?
We do have to.
Well, no, you can take as much as you want. I just,
He doesn't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
I don't eat. Yeah.
He's watching.
You do.
He's watching.
I'll eat.
macros
I
right
told him
now.
that earlier. I said, "But I'll eat yours."
Sir.
All right, so chef, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so going from spicy to sweet, these are our house-made pancakes or buttermilk pancakes. So it's gonna give it a fluffier like texture. And then on top we have our vodka berry compote. So what goes great with whiskey is vodka. So it's kind of like a cocktail on the plate. And we have on the side we use Milligan's maple syrup. So that's a local brand, but
Did they pay you for that?
yeah, actually.
Endorsement.
Yeah.
Endorsement.
We don't.
Could you tell them, please? Actually,
We don't give other people.
just reach out. But yeah, pretty simple. Yeah, they're made fresh every day. So hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you.
Thanks, chef.
All right, so Tony, what are we pairing this monstrosity with?
Pair this with our Whiskey War double oak. So this is
Oh,
our Whiskey
yours is
War
easy.
barrel proof blend.
Yeah.
Putting back into
Good
a
luck.
brand new charred oak barrel and double oak or second oak.
Ooh.
Like a little infinity.
So double oak has become a very popular thing for
High bank.
high bank because everybody has been searching. You know, you see people out and about. They're like, "Oh, I have this double oak, that double oak, this pick double oak." A lot of picks I feel like happen in the double oak wine.
Well, yeah. Out of all the things that a blender can do, is the most. I mean, just when you're purchasing when you're buying barrels, double oaking is like your own signature because and it's really become where you basically take that original distilleries what would you say their profile.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you double oak it, you're changing that profile because you're putting in a completely different kind of barrel usually, and probably not buying from the same cooperage that the original, but and it changes everything. And it's something that I found that really can put most of the people who are using other purchase barrels, that puts your mark on it, because then you can keep doing the same barrel purchases for where you're purchasing your barrels and add that profile of your own, right?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, again, with us sourcing, anybody could throw together something that would probably get close to Whiskey War. Barrel proof, I mean, just based off flavors and knowing what three go into it.
Well, not
Not anybody,
You have
but
to have people who
yes, you have to have a good.
There's
good
a lot of
palate, yeah.
people who don't come close.
No, exactly. But realistically, you could get in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you said, this is us putting kind of that high bank stamp on it. It's allowing more time on hand for James and I to then correct flavor profiles that we don't like. That new oak is going to impart new flavor. So just being in the high bank rick house is taking it further away from what somebody else is going to be able to replicate. So yeah, it's our high bank stamp on
They're
it.
aging behind us right now.
Yeah.
Right?
And like we said, this paired with this because double oak typically, because of the introduction of all the new sugar that
Yeah.
you're getting from the
Right.
new barrel, is making this a sweeter batch than
Right.
your typical stuff, and it works for what we're about ready to
And I haven't
try.
tried it. I already got powdered
Yeah,
sugar.
more
So-
more oak means more vanillin, more lignin, another charcoal layer to smooth out any of that astringency. So usually drops that apricot-y, citrusy note down into berries, baked apples,
First off, before
and
I
pastry.
Am I allowed to do this?
This pancake
Is this,
is-
I was gonna
is this-
dump.
is this-
I was gonna
is this
dump.
allowed to happen?
Do it. Yeah.
Because I feel like if
Live
I
your
do
truth.
this,
James
this
was
is gonna
like,
be-
"All right, you already planned your gimmick. I was
Look.
gonna dump my double
Oh,
oak into my maple syrup."
Oh, I don't normally eat breakfast, so this is
Mm.
for me.
Put a little double oak on the pancake.
I was gonna do.
go.
Doing it.
Brazilian. Yeah, so the double oaked, it's our barrel proof that we reintroduce to a new charred white American oak barrel we source from Speyside in Jackson, Ohio. Char 3 hand toast barrel, and those spend between 6 months and a year in that secondary oaking. And these are always proofed at 100. So we're going back down a little bit, but
Speyside also provides barrels for MGP. Now, I think
This
like,
should be
shortly
a-
before
this
we
should be a
opened.
menu,
6 years ago.
like,
Yeah.
legit,
Yeah.
like just the menu item, like
Yeah.
fruit by itself.
These are awesome.
This is insane.
double oak like gets so much sweeter than it is already.
This is insane. This is wild.
So technically, when I ask the question, well, when you do the blend,
Yeah.
and then do you put it in a barrel? Not for that one, but in this
For
one,
double
that's
oak.
what you're doing.
Exactly.
You just do the
That's
whole
exactly
blend,
what
and then
we're
it ends up in its own barrel and ages. And if anybody has ever done anything like an infinity bottle, I did one with Woodford Double Oaked. I like Woodford Double Oaked, and I get all these picks from people.
Mhm.
And I probably had 7 or 8 picks where the bottle was, and I needed space. So I just took them all and put them all into a decanter. I put it in and I took a sip, and it was like after I did it, and it tasted like whiskey got put on a roller coaster and blew up. Like it just, there was no flavors, no nothing. But then you let it sit and it decides, and it's like people don't understand it. It's a chemical reaction.
Yeah.
There, when you first put it in, it all stays kind of separate. But as it sits in that barrel, pulling in flavors, but it's also mixing longer and becoming one thing. And that's kind of what you do when you double oak.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the
A
same
blend. I mean,
yeah,
that's
it's
really
the same
cool.
thing. Yeah, I was just about to say that's the same thing that James and I are looking for when we're creating blends. Both of us are coming from the front of house side of things. We were both bartenders in the past life.
The past life.
Me for sure. James is more recently, but I mean,
2 years ago.
Yeah. Past life.
that's all you're trying to do as a bartender is take different flavor profiles and make it just one homogeneous cocktail. Something that you're taking all of these different flavor profiles and making it this one unique signature cocktail. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm curious, and Eric can answer this when he gets back. Could he take these pancakes, and I know he's using locally sourced syrup, but maybe ixnay that and make a double oak syrup?
We could definitely make a double oak syrup. I don't know if we're gonna
A double oak,
Double oak.
but use their
Yeah,
syrup.
we like Milligan.
Yeah.
But well, use their syrup, but make
Yeah.
it with
With
double
double
oak.
oak.
yeah.
That would be.
Or well, he
a
said
way.
there's the vodka berry compote,
Vodka, dude.
double oaked berry compote.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. I'm like staring at those pancakes.
No, and I
Well,
didn't mean
back
like.
like sweet syrup. No. I just
I didn't mean like throw them out the window.
This batch is
Hammer
easy.
that sugar
Their,
together.
their syrup is.
We love our partners.
No,
Yeah.
and their syrup is great. It's just I change up a little just
But I
for
do-
some.
I
You
do
want,
agree, like,
you
this-
want
this
them
is
just to
syrup.
pour double oak into the syrup.
I'm
You're
putting it
not
on my
talking about
pancakes.
aging the syrup in a double oak.
They're buying the double oaked either way. Okay. They can do what they want.
That's fantastic, though.
This
What
is
a
great.
great combination.
I think that batch especially has this like little nuttiness as
Yeah.
well that works well with a berry pancake as well.
Yeah.
Yes, this is batch
Very-
18 of our double.
Well, the berry pancake, like you said, almost has a fermented flavor
Yeah.
to it. And then you add the whiskey, it pairs beautiful. So if you're on a Sunday morning and you have the double oak, make sure you make yourself a pancake, and then pour a pour. It's an excuse to drink before 11.
Responsibly.
I mean, it's taking
Yeah,
it
maybe
into
on a
like
football
wine
field.
and flavor profile.
We have to add that.
Yeah, responsibly. Yeah.
The compote does take it into that
Yeah,
wine
pancake
finish
party.
realm.
Make sure you
responsibly.
Yes.
Eat responsibly.
Eat responsibly, drink
Yeah.
responsibly.
We do not want somebody
responsibly.
getting in a sugar.
Although this morning I think you're
creating diabetes.
That's what we're worried about, the
just-
sugar.
Yeah, sugar.
I've never seen
Bad.
That's
Listen.
amazing what you're doing today.
Eating?
Easy. We got together. I'm
You're
like,
doing good.
Listen, when we put sweets together with bourbon, I'm telling you, the other day I had a piece of chocolate cake from Dorothy Lane Market in Dayton, which that's fire, by the way. It's so good. And paired it with some bourbon afterwards. And I'm like, what have I been doing wrong? This is crazy. The sugar that the cake left
Yeah.
when you drank the bourbon, it like grabbed it all and just intensified it. And that's kind of what I think is going on here is you eat this and some of that stays back.
Mhm.
And then when you drink the drink of bourbon, it's just like, oh my God.
there's nothing that pairs with desserts. I mean, desserts are chocolate, caramel, vanilla, vanilla ice cream, chocolate, whatever. And that's what bourbon is. So
Yeah.
bourbon
Right.
pairs so well with the dessert, or the syrup. I mean, who does? Everybody has bourbon aged, barrel aged syrups these days.
For
I mean,
sure.
It's just
Yeah.
something. When we first started, there was almost nobody, right? And now everybody has a version of it. Oh, I got it.
Oh, sweet baby
Right, so
Jesus.
now we're into
8
Oh, this is this is gonna be awesome.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
We're talking.
All right. So
what's that? Okay, you need to talk
Shep,
about.
go ahead and come back and tell us about this.
We're back.
We're back, Eric.
Welcome back, Eric.
Yeah, so for the fourth course, this is kind of like the star of the lunch menu. It's actually one of the dishes we when Guy Fieri was down here last year, we did for him.
Fieri.
So basically everything in this house made. So it's our hot honey chicken biscuits, cheddar drop biscuits made daily, fresh chicken tenders. We use a chorizo gravy on the biscuits, and then it's a house made hot honey on top. So a bit heavier, spicy, but I think pretty well balanced in general. So
Wizards.
This is the hot honey that you use on the pizza. Too,
yeah,
correct?
same one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we make that in house. Everything on this is made in house, so we're pretty proud of it. It's a lot of good.
Do you guys have a lot of that?
Yeah.
Like enough to drench a barrel?
Yeah.
You can do
Okay.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, we can
Ooh,
do
a honey bear.
Hot
do a
honey?
hot honey barrel would be great.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might have just. Yeah.
Start
That might have
right
just.
now. It'll be fun.
I think
The
that's a
hot honey
James
barrel.
idea.
Yeah. I
James'
said
idea.
that. I said
He
that.
said it.
Which way?
He's got great.
I don't need
ideas.
any. I just want it.
Okay, there's enough for one each.
I mean, the what was it? The Evan Williams Tabasco was pretty.
Dickel. I think,
Dickel
did a Tabasco
Tabasco.
finish. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was Dickel.
So we're gonna pair this with our double oak.
Mm.
So we went double oak first. This is the double oak blend at barrel proof,
Yes.
reintroduced to another oak barrel.
Tertiary.
So this is our double oak that's double oaked.
3 oak barrels.
3 oak barrels,
Again,
And this is a
all
cast
space side.
unlike
All
The
space
2
out.
new ones are space
unlike Woodford not taking it to the what is it 93.4.
Yeah. So kept it. What proof?
90.4?
94.4.
So this is 116.
93.4 or 90.4?
116.64.
116 proof.
I think it's the same thing, the same proof as Woodford.
Yeah.
They both are the Woodford and Woodford.
It's my opinion as far as pairing goes. It's probably got the most complex flavors. So I think it's gonna pair well with the chicken biscuits since it's got with it.
Yeah, Eric mentioned that this is on diners, drive-ins, and drive.
Triple D.
Yeah,
Triple D. There we go. Get it out.
Yeah.
we were the fourth smaller D, the distillery D. And
This is the quadro D. Yeah. But and then James mentioned, did you mention this was the one that won our second year?
So yeah, 2022. This was the best blended whiskey in America at San Francisco. Not this exact batch, but our double
Correct.
double oaked.
Yeah, it's expression of whiskey.
I think they've gotten better since
Oh,
then.
of course.
Thus, it became a skew, kind of like cigar.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
didn't win at San Francisco. Was an OHLQ pick the first time we did it. And then before we did a batch, we decided to, sneak it into San Fran. It won double gold, and then we released batch 1.
Well, that chicken and biscuits, fantastic already. So I'm ready for this to go with it.
Did immediately on the nose. I don't know if you have any, you can compare it back and forth with. I need to drink it a little bit more.
This having a heavier woody and oaky influence. I mean, people cook on.
I like this one
Wood
better
as
because
well.
it's not as sweet
Yeah.
as double oak. I
Mhm.
like how this is a little more to me. And it's crazy because you would think it would be more sweet because it's been, but it's more balanced
I think
for me.
with the chicken being spicy, there's that little bit of spice. It really pulls out the oak on this. Now, I think I'd want to taste it also without the chicken because, like I said, sometimes you get that spicy thing and everything pulls out a lot.
Pulls
of
those
times.
tannins,
But if you're like an oaky Chardonnay person or you're an oaky bourbon person, this is your pair, right? This is your
good.
jam. You're gonna eat. You do the little bit of spice, and it just
Total contrast from the pancakes. Because
would've
certainly.
sweetness is definitely, this is savory.
Like
Correct,
steak
yeah.
and eggs would have been fun to try this dodo with. I think
Did you say steak and eggs?
I think steak and eggs and dodo would have been.
Come back now.
Episode 2.
So steak and eggs. Yeah, the next trip will be the steak and eggs.
Pepperoni hot honey pizza.
I think the yolky creaminess would have worked with the dodo creaminess.
This is the high proof definitely mellows out that spice.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, very
like that
similar
peppercorn
with
of
the
the
barrel
dodo.
proof. Yeah, I think
Just
that's
really getting in there, working with
Talk
that
about,
pepper dusting.
today,
Really dusting.
because we're here we started the whole thing at noon.
Yeah.
This is off of your brunch menu.
Yeah.
And then talk about what you guys serve. When do you guys serve brunch? And just talk about
Yeah.
the schedule.
Little menu.
So yeah, basically we do brunch from 10 in the morning until 3 p.m. Sundays and Saturdays, and then we have our normal dinner menu available at all times besides Sunday nights throughout the week. So we're open all shifts besides Sunday nights, which that gives us flexibility to do like special events and stuff on Sundays. Keep an eye out for those, like industry parties and whatnot. But yeah, so this is our brunch menu. It's honestly, since I've been here, it's had the least changes, honestly, because it's gotten just a lot of good feedback and stuff. So we more focused on just like quality stuff, like the buttermilk pancakes, getting like sure more procedures are done right. And then our dinner menu is where we get more creative with like, new additions and everything like that. So
Yeah, I've had some dinners here that have
Excellent.
been fantastic.
Yeah.
The thing is when I get dinner, I always pair it with an old fashioned. It's like it's just the easier thing. But doing this, I'm thinking next time I want to pair it with a flight of different ones and have dinner and appetizers. with that.
Appetizers.
See how it plays together.
That's what I was gonna say. As I think that this is probably the first time I've seen a brunch pairing with whiskey.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's time wise, it's probably gonna
When
play
you
into
did
that.
this podcast today,
Everybody does like dinner pairings with
yeah,
either
we
wine
were
or
like,
whiskey
oh my
and
God,
stuff.
That's
That's
yeah. Brunch time. This is gonna be fantastic.
Perfect.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that plays well.
Too, yeah.
I mean, in general, as a chef, what's been really cool about working here at High Bank, and I've been here about 3 years now at this location, but I've become friends with the distillers as well. But just the range of products between the gin, the vodka, the whiskey, and all that. Sorry, I mean, but
Killing me.
no, it's been
left
a lot
hanging.
of fun for me creatively. Like we have this entire like essentially closet full of just flavors that we can always mix and match with, like a really good depth of stuff. So
People have been putting.
Eric, did we say what your position was? Or
Oh, yeah.
I'm just hang out.
Please introduce yourself, Eric. Come to the middle.
Chef at the Urban location. He's awesome. He's a good friend of mine, and I like to flex for him because he's bilingual.
Well,
think it's awesome.
yeah, you can tell my accent, right?
Yeah. But yes, Eric
It's a
does always
Cleveland
bring it up.
French accent.
Yeah,
It's great.
right, yeah.
Yeah, but I think my most important position is I'm just like the resident taste tester.
Yeah.
So whenever they really need like an everyman opinion on whiskey, I'm always happy to contribute. Like,
She's always happy to drink
I'm
something.
here.
Always happy to contribute.
So as a chef, you're gonna go with you're an everyman taster.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
oh my-
whiskey.
Yeah.
Well, if you
That's not a great.
if you only
sales
put
pitch,
out
yeah.
dishes for yourself, they're not going to sell.
Right. Exactly.
What
You
Eric
have to
is
put
trying
out
to say,
You have to
Eric's
make
saying
craft
he's-
dishes that every person, every guest walks
It's a
in
collaborative thing.
to your establishment.
Eric
is
likes
gonna enjoy.
whiskey. Okay,
Yeah.
so he
Oh,
likes
yeah.
he likes to try it and make sure it's going to work with the food.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's definitely tried to transition to back house.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't happened yet.
I would venture to say succeeding.
Yeah.
Here he
I
is.
guess you are here right now.
Without-
Where-
It's hard to argue that he hasn't done it.
Without payroll benefits, he's definitely.
I hang out. Like, I've always been very.
He's been a part of Master Splend.
Yeah. Getting paid in liquid is always something. Again, my mom's from France.
It's hilarious.
It's just
What a
sets
great
you
way to.
up right.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, what's even more masterful is when you're up there getting paid, and then you're getting paid in
Oh,
like
yeah.
you're back here, but
Mhm.
then you work it out so you're still getting paid back here too.
I'll
Oh,
take it
yeah.
as a compliment to what I'm
Right.
doing.
That's
When
the-
James and I are doing something good, if Eric's sticking around
I think
after
it's a really great collaborative experience.
Yeah.
because he's working that chef life, so that's
This is-
extra hours.
this is
So when's the
fantastic.
chef barrel coming out?
Ah,
Oh,
let's talk. We can make some.
can we call that the hot honey?
What?
idea.
The hot honey is the chef mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because his palate is very, very in tune with things that we are not. Like we don't.
I mean,
taste
like he knew to talk through. We had some ideas, and he was like, "Let's do this with that and this with that."
Yeah.
Some of it was agreeable with us.
But what's cool
Two
about it,
honey.
but the two sides of this, like the food, fantastic. I mean, the food is fantastic. But what it's doing to the bourbon or whiskey is even better because the whiskey on its own stands up and it's great. But when you put it with something like this, it even takes it to another level.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people like, hopefully, that they're watching and listening. It's like this can be what you do. You don't have to drink it just to drink it and go have a good time. Drink it to elevate again your experience, your evening, your time out with your friends. This is phenomenal.
And
Yeah.
I get the question asked me a lot what kind of food we make. So I think what we always try to aim for is I always say like an upscale Americana, kind of like more. We try to go for like wider berth, so it gives us more like room to pair with like the star of the show is the whiskey still at the end of the day. Like we're a distillery, like this room. So we do have this menu that's pretty like modular. That's we're able
used
to
to
like
work
use
at
different
City.
influences and whatnot, like in general. So
He did.
Well, I will
Eric?
say,
Yeah.
as a chef,
Yeah, I
you
think so.
probably know what cardamom tastes like. You
Yeah,
or
City
cinnamon,
has
like
that
you
kind
probably
of-
know
these
what
things have that
marzipan
kind of a
tastes
flavor.
like compared
Yeah.
to regular chocolate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as a chef, you've been
There's a higher-
trained on
it's
those
higher than
sensory
American.
things that when you pull stuff like
It
a
was,
lot of people like whiskey, but and they pull
Cantina.
flavors out, but
Mm.
you know that aroma kit that we get and we it really teaches you what because you can't if you don't know what something tastes like you can't pull the flavor out.
Because whiskey
Yeah,
is such
absolutely.
I think complicated.
yeah.
Like the flavors are always complicated, and again, it's a lot of like spicy and stuff like that. I mean, a thing I always like culinary and baking are very like opposite almost. Baking is more of a science, culinary is more like artisanal. I think with like brewing is similar almost to like culinary as well because you're layering flavors. You change up like the different like the woods, the spices, all that. So I think those are two things that like cohabitate like the same space, and I think that's why I always enjoy pairing like whiskey over like even beer and wine personally because I think you can really like there's always a wide array of things you can do with that. So
Yeah, I think whiskey kind of evolves or changes the flavor. It changes what you're eating, whereas where the wine almost is the accent to what
Yeah.
you're eating.
Yeah,
You're not
absolutely.
changing the flavors or
Change the
whatever.
wine.
You're trying to. They complement each other. Where
Yeah,
this
supplement,
this basically
yeah.
it becomes something almost. It's almost like an alchemy kind of.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
this like symbiosis between going back and
Well,
forth.
'cause
One
this-
way is a whole different interaction. Like going whiskey to that chicken and biscuits was
Well, the
very interesting. You're just adding some oaky flavor to
Right,
that
yeah.
chicken and biscuits, and then you go back to the from chicken biscuits to the whiskey, and you're adding a little bit more spice into that dodo, and I think it made that sweetness pop. The creamy notes came out, like that doughiness of the biscuit really made.
But if you just
a lot
walked
of
up
that.
and had a pour, it's
Right.
not
Yeah.
any. That's a
No.
whole different
It's
experience than
singular.
what this was.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, if you're not drinking whiskey while you're eating, of course you're going to get a different experience.
Well, and then just you guys as blenders, what do you do when you come in and it's a big day and you're going to be doing blending, and you just know that this isn't the day you should be doing it? Do you like delay it a
some
little
days
bit?
your palate's off.
I mean, there's days
From
I
a
mean,
from a palate perspective.
Yeah, like
yeah.
palate's just off.
Because I know I'll be tasting sometimes, and I'll be tasting some stuff that's so rich, and I'm like, holy crap, tonight my palate is on.
You're on fire.
And then there's other times where it's like, I'm not smelling anything or tasting anything, and it's just like people don't realize that that's how we're not always 100% every
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
on our senses, right?
I think part of it's really nice is that it's a collaborative
Uh-huh,
process, right?
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's rare that both of us are on an off day and that one person, and you sort of, not to say lead the witness, and that, oh yeah, everything tastes like one person thinks it, but when you get one person rolling,
Yeah.
then you
I
can
would
sort of
say-
play back and
Yeah,
forth,
I
which
got
has been
lucky
really
talking
helpful.
James into coming back to the distillery.
He,
I knew he was a great bartender, and I was like, all right, I can see this translating well, because like you said, when you're kind of bearing the weight of it, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
It's
I
nice.
drank a little bit too much the night before. I don't want to come in and drink.
Well,
yeah,
Yeah.
10 a.m.
even
or-
if you
There's
get a little
a-
bit of a head cold. I mean, it just throws everything.
There's a relationship change that you have with this, and a respect thing where, unfortunately, I can't enjoy whiskey outside of work as much. I try to limit my consumption outside of work so that I can focus on
We all
every day.
We all have to do it. I mean,
Because if I'm coming in slow and I'm trying to blend something, I'm gonna try to avoid drinking further. Unfortunately,
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. I gotta take.
you're
what is-
regretting. You're
what is
regretting
this?
this morning. That's for sure. Morning.
yeah. So if
All right, chef.
again, and if you're not in that right headspace, you're just trying to cruise through things. You
Yeah.
might overlook something, a fault that you might not normally let through. A product becomes a little bit more bitter or astringent, and
Yeah.
So home stretch.
but yeah, it's an early in the day process for us normally. For that, we're not like
I get more
coffee
profiles
or-
when I drink early.
Mhm.
Your palate's better in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
for you.
think day drinking
Yeah,
is
that's
better
true.
too.
Well,
We know
we're
you
gonna
think
find out today. We're
So,
finding out
so
today.
these are bourbon infused cinnamon rolls.
Yeah. So yeah, last is we got our house-made seasonal donuts. Sorry. Right now we're doing a cinnamon roll donut, so they're kind of beignet style donuts we're doing. They're tossed in like a buttercream frosting and then drizzled with a cinnamon like butter type of sauce. So trying to get like that cinnamon roll like flavor all in one bite.
So can
Crazy.
anybody imagine what we would hook up to pair with a cinnamon roll donut?
I can say.
I
Cinnamon
mean,
roll in a glass.
cinnamon roll in a glass, cigar cask / Ambarana. If
Easy.
listen, I'm gonna be honest, because if Clark Kent had a kryptonite for me, it's Ambarana, because it gets a little too sweet for me, and I struggle with it.
Well,
but
I struggle with Rise.
yes, but when we came for the release of the new batch that was the basketball on the
Yep.
front
Which
of it.
that's the same batch.
Same batch.
Oh, okay.
different label.
So,
Yep, so it's batch
what
5.
we talked about during that was that the fact that this had finally settled itself a little bit. The Amarana wasn't fighting for the star of the show. It was kind of there,
Yeah.
but it wasn't fighting like it was the first few batches, which I listen, people love it. I don't, it's great. But
So the first batch we had 1 barrel, right? And now
Yeah,
we
this
have,
is subtle.
guys, we
4.
have. Yeah, I can't see your 4 finger.
4.
We got 4 barrels.
No
now,
kidding.
so-
Why wouldn't you? It's
I am.
Yeah,
all you have to do is say that word.
listen, I am 100% dunking this.
Yeah,
one.
no, I cheated. I tried both. Fantastic pairing. Like right off the bat.
But now, how do you do
that
this?
worked.
What? How
do we do what?
Do you do chips?
No, this is a Brazilian Ambarana barrel.
It's actually
a full
yeah,
barrel.
this
Yep.
is full barrel.
This
But
was
it's a
like
blend now.
Yeah. So we have 4 barrels. They're seasoned at this point. Like we filled them. I mean, probably at least
They're-
6.
Yeah, 6 to 8
Um,
times.
So again, this is us blending on the back end. This is us getting most
Listen.
of these to like an accepted flavor profile,
I'm
pulling these, batching them, and then a lot of the times we're then reintroducing that batch back in with some barrel proof to then just layer more Amberana on it.
So once you have it blended, then it's in the Amberano barrel.
So it's the barrel proof that
Yeah,
we're putting
barrel
it
proof,
into.
yeah.
So
Everything
Into
comes
that-
from
so
that barrel.
it goes
into
right
the
into that
Ambrana barrel.
barrel.
So it's like we're double oaking it, but in the Ambrana.
And then you introduce maybe the caster, and you just come up with
So,
the blend, and then it's in that.
With them being a little bit more seasoned, James and I'll pull it. We'll make like an accepted batch of Amberana. We'll work with however many gallons or liters we need. And then if there's leftover, we're then blending that finished product back in with some barrel proof so that we're not, it's kind of like a sourdough starter. So like you're not just starting from this base of just
Yep.
yeast.
So once you have it in the Amberana barrel, you dump it, and then you start blending a little bit in to make the cigar blend, whether it's the barrel proof or whatever, and then you let that go settle, and then that's
it's
what
a-
we're
Yes,
doing.
but everything is finished in Amberana at some point.
Yeah.
There's no
Right.
just straight
It's
barrel
going
proof
back
in there.
in.
Everything goes back into the barrel to finish.
In the
So
end.
nothing is not
Oh,
Ambrana
wow.
finished.
Yeah.
It's again just
So what-
us finding faults and
so what
bitterness
is-
and
So once it's in back in, like
Mhm.
everything's finished, and it's boom, it's back in.
Mhm.
What is your time period, and how often do you test it?
It's short.
very short.
Every
So when you
weeks.
first get a new barrel,
Yeah.
it's probably 24 hours, and then next
Yeah.
fill's like 48 to 72.
I
I mean, it's
understand.
extremely aggressive when you first get it. Like I think 24 hours was too much the first time we had a
We
barrel.
made it, yeah, first barrel, then we.
I mean, it's
we
more like
changed it
just
on a
so
Friday.
these barrels are
Yeah,
getting
Yeah.
because Monday was
a
too much.
wine
Yeah.
finish, so they're strictly toasted traditionally, not charred. So oils are extremely prevalent.
Do you
These
guys have to do this like completely separate from everything else you're doing,
Yes.
kind of because of the
you're
fact
not going
that
to taste any traditional.
You're,
whiskey
it's
flavors.
just. I mean, even with the delivery, we were at a distillery when there was a delivery
Kentucky.
of those barrels,
Oh,
and the
Oh,
whole damn rick house
And it was
smelled
a
like
huge-
cinnamon
So,
toast.
again,
Brick house.
can't drink too much and then go like start thieving or messing around with the Amberana because
It'll
you
throw you
can't
off.
get it off your skin.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Not like let alone your palate. My hands just I'm like
Yeah.
this is cinnamon.
and it just
It
destroys
has
all
like
your
this
senses.
mesquite
And, yeah,
barbecue smell.
Yeah.
Uh,
I couldn't believe it. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
We walked in and I'm like, this pick is done.
Yeah.
I couldn't smell
Like
anything
nothing.
else. I was like,
Nothing.
it's done.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
it
your worst
was
nightmare.
just them getting the
Huh?
delivery.
It's like
of
your
the
worst
barrels. They
nightmare.
didn't even
Everything
know
tastes
it.
like cigars.
That's their first time, and they had
Had
like
to hide in the corner.
8 barrels, and it was
Yeah.
just like, holy
It
crap.
is very polarized. Yeah, that's something that's kind of like black licorice, that anise and like numbing effect
Mhm.
to where you're not going to want to do any Amberana tasting and then try any other product.
That's why
If we're
this at the
doing
end.
cigar
Exactly. Yep.
cigar cask, because that's just a loose term that
Yeah.
means
No.
pairs well with the cigar.
Yeah. And I don't even know that
It's great.
everybody makes it to pair well
No,
with a cigar.
because
They
not
just-
everybody's smoking a cigar.
There's so many different meanings of cigar cast, whether it was meant to have that cigar type note, you know, whether
It's
hard to
a
say.
cognac.
Chef,
industry.
these are phenomenal. There's an extra one down there, I know. So
So the
One of them
whole
very
research that I've found is
So,
it's
you know how they make
cognac
the rum,
born.
the rum
Cognac
cake?
and
Cognac industry
You
has
should
had
make an
cigar
Amberana
casks
cake.
forever.
Yep.
So that's why this
Same thing, you know what I mean?
transition to
That's why
cognac
they have
was just single distilled.
That's what
Yeah,
it is.
column stilled
Yeah.
instead of pot stilled.
That
Because
transition
the
was
rum cakes
easy.
don't have
So
the
then
front,
transitioning
you
to
know
the
what I mean?
whiskey world,
An Amberana cake would
cognac
be
and Armagnac
That's what
finishes
what,
being
absorb it.
cigar
Yeah.
was like the
Does, so you
old
get-
world
you get more
finishing.
of that
Then
cedar.
Starlight started this.
Yep. Which you guys are
Amberana.
probably the only company, and I was going to say that. Like, there are very few people who are using the barrel. Starlight
A lot of people
started
do
that.
Yeah.
I mean, Ted was very big about getting those barrels, doing that
Mhm.
originally, and it took off. And I mean, give credit where credit's due. Ted created this level of cigar batch
Absolutely. Yeah.
for the American.
Mhm.
That he created it. Then people
What about-
adapted,
what
but
about- well, Magnus.
no. I'm
Magnus
saying
is Armagnac.
Armin. I'm talking about
That's-
Amberana.
Okay, so Amberana is the one.
So that's what I would
That's-
call New World cigar.
Correct. That would be Ted buying those casks and saying, "I'm going to call this a cigar cask," and it was crazy. And it just tells you that that's the difference of palates. Like people
So-
drink it and they like that sweetness,
The other thing,
and then some don't.
what do you know
Super
about
divisive, yeah.
Brazil? They don't have a very sustainable forestation practice. I think all I know about Brazil is deforestation.
Yeah.
So these barrels, if you can get one stave that you know is good, you chip that, it's a lot easier for you to sell.
Yeah.
Them guaranteeing
A
the
barrel.
quality of an entire barrel or 31 to 35 staves
Yeah.
is pretty hard for them to do. France, who's teaming up with like the Department of Forestation,
They tell you what
it
trees
is a
you can
lot
plant.
easier
Yeah.
for them to say, well, based off the forestation practices of sustainability, we're only able to source these right now.
I remember
The quality
talking to
remains way
Ted
higher.
after the first batch had come out and Amberana had just gone crazy.
Yeah.
Like people had got that first cigar batch and it was like anybody that could find it, it was crazy, crazy. And he was talking about how they were waiting on wood to come up from Brazil to put together the next barrels.
Oh, interesting.
And it wasn't happening. Like
No.
it was so slow.
So they were coopering it themselves.
They were doing something
That's
themselves.
cool.
Whether
Yeah.
they had a cooperage doing it for them,
Yeah,
but he was bringing the wood up to do it. So
Well, you could bring the barrels and then have a cooperage go through the
Maybe,
staves, redo it, and
Clean it
remake
out,
the
yeah,
barrels.
right.
That's
The only thing from how numbing and coating that Amberana is, I think it just lends itself. You're gonna cut that.
I can't imagine
smoke.
cutting it.
No, I'm just saying you're gonna. Well, yeah. There's a lot of people that are cutting it.
Oh,
Yeah, nobody does high proof cigar
yeah.
casting.
no, I mean like
Everybody's-
cutting the wood
oh.
from
Oh,
like cutting it
geez.
down.
Imagine how that would feel.
chopping it down.
Super easy. It's so soft.
But
Yeah.
I mean, the smell.
Oh,
do?
that.
Are
yeah.
the barrels?
He'd be
Nice.
that's his nightmare. Yeah.
I would
hold it
I'd
together.
die.
on a plane.
together fine.
Okay.
So
You don't get a lot of
yeah.
leakage off the barrel.
No.
Oh,
so-
there's a ton of leakage.
Okay.
So they drip a ton of like tannic acid out. So you see that it sort of forms on the lip of the staves. But
Okay.
yeah, so the Amberana wood is super porous.
Okay.
It grows incredibly fast.
So that's one of the reasons why it penetrates so quick. because
Aggressively.
Very, very
Exactly.
Straight
Yep.
into the wood.
Exactly.
There's no like hardwood and oak. It takes
a
a
long
while
time.
to get it
So-
in.
Yeah, when you look at French oak,
Oh, you
it's
could
so
if
tight
you left
grained.
it in there too long, which is you could actually get it coming out and losing part of your barrel a lot
That-
quicker
yeah.
than you would. Okay.
I guarantee that evaporation is probably going to be higher in these barrels as well. But
Well,
this wood in general lends way more like wood flavored or wood derived flavonoids than American oak, French oak. So chips make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You're able to hide faults very quickly in this. That's I think why the whiskey war does very well. Not because we're hiding faults, but that we're not trying to finish this for too long. Highlight the whiskey war flavor profile. Layer in that Amberana nuance.
Yeah.
If you
The
put
last two batches, I think, have been a step in that direction.
if you put good whiskey in, it's gonna get
Yeah.
better. Versus a lot of people will put bad whiskey in because they hope it
Right.
saves.
This is
Yeah.
definitely respectful distillery that ever says good whiskey in equals good whiskey out. I mean, if that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, I understand when you're making
Oh, there's some that aren't.
a million barrels a year
Right.
that it might not be the bad whiskey. The whiskey might not be bad, but you're going to have some barrels that don't do whatever.
it happens.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, you got what you do with those barrels is very important. I mean, I know some people just dump them out. Some people let them age further. You know, there's so many different things. And, you know, I think honestly, the reason that flavored whiskey actually ever came out was because that's what you can do with a barrel that's not.
Reject.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
You
think
flavor it. You could just dump some honey in it, and it's
Yeah,
gonna
we're
taste
not
good.
even doing that with our RTDs.
Right.
Within
With
the
the
Midnight Manhattans and the Old Fashions, we're using whiskey that is accepted that would be used for barrel proof or any of these products, and that is going to be the base.
Yeah.
We're not starting with a batch of whiskey war that was rejected or anything like that. It's all starting from.
And I think what's so
From
great
that
about
base.
the Whiskey War line, and because we're sourcing and we're blending, and MGP is so consistent,
Yeah, thankfully.
is that we know that, okay, the barrel fruit blend is going to be within, there's variation between batches because we're doing 6 barrels at a time. And so it's really small batches. There's variation between, which is why we do the war room and talk about that stuff.
We embrace that.
We have
which is
lot,
great.
lot codes that in combination that we've figured out.
Yeah.
So-
you know what's coming
Yep.
from where that works for what you're trying to look for.
You do a small amount of distilling. correct?
Yes.
You're a distiller.
Make our bourbon.
Yeah, very much
Right.
craft in that
Yeah.
sense.
Right,
We've talked
right.
a lot about blending. We are not an NDP. No, we are a DSP.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so you do. So what kind of releases do you have for your own whiskey?
I think Tony touched on this earlier, but yeah, we've had we just worked on batch 5 of our small batch bourbon that I'll be releasing alongside bourbon barrel proof batch 2. Again,
Yeah, batch
can't
one recently came
really
out.
divulge too much, but
Yeah,
it was
and then
pretty damn
There's
good.
something.
Yeah.
I'm working on. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But so you started in 2017. It's 2002. So your stuff is you're getting some nice age on your
Yeah,
stuff.
6,
And
7 years
and-
old. Yeah, exactly.
did you just say 6, 7? There you go.
You did.
Yeah, yeah.
We said we weren't going to say that.
Well, I'm sorry, that's how old it is. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I
So
appreciate it.
again, age statement is not on our bottles anywhere.
Right,
We are working with older whiskey.
right, right. And
There's stuff that even if we put a 5 and some change age statement on there, there's barrels that are 8 in there.
And what I would say is, like that's what your craft distiller, you know, and whatever. And the model you guys are going on is very similar to a lot of people's models, but your blending took off like so well
Yeah.
right from the start.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
seriously, obviously, and that's because they attribute to your blending. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like taking something and whatever, and that's always very key. But it's exciting now that you guys are getting your own stuff, and I know you don't make huge amounts of volumes of your own stuff compared, but at the same time, those releases as you get, I've been around a lot of craft distilleries, and you got good distillate, and you can release those a little bit early. But there's going to be always a grain flavor associated with everything, and there's a lot of people who love that craft grain. But as soon
Yeah.
as that barrel starts to get into that whiskey and it starts to take off, I really find that that's the exciting time. So coming out with those, and as it keeps going, I mean, everybody should look forward to those. Now, how do you release those? Just right here?
Yeah, we have done for the we just talked about the barrel proof bourbon that was just released. Batch 1 was January of this year, so that was
And there's
a
none left,
whiskey.
right?
Yeah,
there's a
still some
little
hanging
bit.
around, I
There
think.
is.
Yeah.
The small batch that it accompanied completely sold out. But yeah, there's going to be a whiskey society event. Get into our whiskey society. It's
Try it early for
100%
free.
worth it.
Yeah.
Or for the
It is
membership price.
definitely too cheap for what you get.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will, I think bourbon, with it not being like our national brand, with Whiskey War being this established, like that's where we're gonna go to. There will always probably be an event attached to the releases.
Yeah. And when we first sort of started, what Adam, my understanding is that the idea was we want to release with a brown spirit,
Correct.
a whiskey. We can't have it at day one because you need the bourbon to sit, right? And so, okay, we source, but then, it's the best in America.
Yeah, we can't drop
So
it.
we're not going to get rid of that. And so now that the high bank bourbon, that's what we call our distillate, that's sort of as a supplemental, our own craft.
Yeah.
Well, when you
Craft take on
visit here, it's obvious that you guys are committed to that part of the craft because, you know, I've been at other craft distilleries, and when they're trying to use the sourcing to get through, their stills are always working and everything's going great. And you guys have definitely a certain amount of time and you're making it, but at the same time, this is what we just tasted through is your main thing. What you
I
wanna
think
do.
that the lifeblood of High Bank is like this artist-driven
Sure.
pipeline.
Yeah.
That's where you're always going to see this, and that
Yeah.
creativity.
Free out of the,
Yeah.
with
There's a lot of
people,
CC80 grads here, so like
grads here,
this
yeah.
creativity, blending, like just making everything our own.
Yeah.
We don't
We
have to
pulled up
have as
barrels
many
like this on
SKUs
the
as
ground.
anybody, or everybody else.
The secret bottle for us.
Well,
We don't want to follow in all of the traditional lanes that everybody's following.
Yeah.
We kind of want
And
to pave our own.
That's
Artistic
I was just
profile.
getting ready to say the one thing that I like is that you haven't
Do you have
put
anything to follow up?
the age statements on the bottle
No.
are not your focus because there are age statement people that
Yes.
it's got to be this age or people won't buy it. it's going off of how it tastes.
Yeah,
and that's
it's all
When you get
flavor
your
driven.
10-year
That's what
bourbon,
matters.
Of course, you're going to put a 10-year statement
Right.
on it when you get there. Okay, I understand.
Mhm.
But realistically, I've dealt with so many people,
Uh-oh,
and it
what are we
really comes to the people who get it are the people they might make bourbon, but they've got American whiskey. They've got what, and when you taste it, it's just you can tell they care about getting that flavor in there, and the whole line right now of what you guys
Yeah.
are doing, there was flavor throughout every single bottle, start to finish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whether you like one over the other, that's great. You should.
It is
you're,
personal
you're gonna
preference, yeah.
lean towards one or the other, but they're all good.
Good thing we ate everything.
My lord.
Like there's
There's no more spots. So
I was
Yeah, it's great
I've been sitting here waiting because I feel like Eric is gonna show up with this chocolate cake.
just wait for the blend. that I'm
Just
about
like
to make.
chocolate cake.
So I'm gonna blend all those.
Think about
So
this, Tony, when he first started pouring,
It was small.
We hadn't hit. No, they were
They were
I was
big.
like,
The
they
first
were
pour was
big.
Oh,
big.
they're
Yeah.
back.
Now that we've had some, they actually are getting a little bit smaller.
First, I like to pour a little bit more so you can get the nose.
Yeah, you got to be able to aerate it.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
But, you don't have to finish.
That double oak
It's not a
does
competition.
cover that.
I know it's
Amberana
not.
a little more now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this little infinity.
This doesn't
I
jump
told
out
them
of the
there's no
glass
way
like the other
going
one.
in there.
So this is,
Overpowered.
and I pulled this as a fun little surprise for you guys. This is our double oaked. So the purple here, finished in Amberana.
And it's 117.4 proof.
like a
Just
cinnamon
I just wanted to twist the knife just a little.
So Chris, I'm kind of with you on Cigar Cash. It's not like my favorite to go to, right? Like we had the first barrel, and I first tasted it, I was blown away just by the flavor it poured of that barrel. But essentially, our first batch Cigar Cash was a single barrel. We only had one barrel, right?
Yeah.
But now that we have four and we're blending it together, we can kind of fine tune that flavor
Yeah.
profile, which I think you like batch 5 a lot more because we're able
It's
to find.
definitely more subtle.
Yeah.
We've literally like figured out exactly
This is
which
even
barrels
more
are
so.
putting like a little more spice or a little more
Yeah.
vanilla
What
or
are
this
more
one's
fruit, what are
yeah.
more cinnamon.
and
yeah.
we're then like I said readjusting things. We are a big blending distillery,
Well,
blending things out, getting that accepted flavor profile, and then you know what? We'll introduce it back to that Amberana
Yeah.
to get that
So-
final
So I
layer.
get why you do Amberana, 100%, because the person who doesn't taste whiskey every single day or 5 times a week, okay, like what we're always constantly tasting whiskey.
You only drink it 5 times a week.
Oh, I might it only might be it.
Yeah, rookie numbers there.
No,
We're
I,
gonna ramp those up.
Just kidding.
it might only be.
We'll get you up
3
to speed,
sometimes.
yeah.
As long as you don't stop.
But
those
we're
3
always
continuous
tasting whiskey, okay? So even I'm sure when you guys are making it, Amberana is a great. It's great every day, or a person who's drinking whiskey on the weekends, or who likes whiskey, but that it's not just everyday part. It's just a beautiful. It's like really whiskey could taste like pancakes and syrup or French toast or
Mhm.
whatever those flavor or cinnamon roll kind of thing, right? Whereas us, we're cinnamon roll. It's great that it tastes that way, but once we've had cinnamon roll, we're just like, okay, where's whatever, and then everybody starts doing it. So I
Mhm.
think CT when he decided to pour it over,
It was okay.
Crazy,
So
probably.
what I did wrong?
vanilla.
And all no,
Oh,
I
you loved
took
it at
cinnamon toast crunch, and I poured E.H. Taylor, and ate it.
That probably was good.
And the cinnamon toast crunch that ruined my palate for Amberana.
Got you.
So that was
Yeah.
probably but
Well, the fact
That-
that you took a photo of this bottle might mean something.
So that's
Yeah.
that bottle is
like
legit. Like
RD1,
this is good.
RD1, yeah.
Penelope Rio.
Mhm.
Those
Right.
go that sweet, very cereal milk to me.
Did you have the Dark Arts one where he left it in the barrel for it's too long?
Was that the dank arts?
No.
Is that what
that's-
you were talking about?
No, that's their blunt blend. That's
Yeah,
the
the
thing they're
blunt
coming
blend
in.
is
Yeah,
one
that's a
thing,
different
okay?
thing. Yeah.
which
that's a different
is insane.
Which is really
but
funny. I like that.
I like it, but it almost like doesn't taste like to me like bourbon, even though it's bourbon. It just has so much of the other stuff going on.
Right. It's a completely different
But-
spirit.
but-
yeah.
He did this when I was in New Orleans. I got to taste 3 different. He put 3 in Amberanas in. One was like it tasted strong of Amberana. The second one was a little, and the other one he left in a barrel for a year.
Oof.
Oh, and it was so
I'd
Amberana
probably
Yeah.
die.
that I think it was.
Yeah,
Am-
I'd
I
probably fall over.
think I don't know. I mean, it tastes. I don't.
Gonna
You
take
would have.
it outside
I
already.
mean, everybody was like, "What is that?" You know what I mean? But
In a good way or bad way?
I think we're
No,
all
no, bad.
here.
Okay.
We're sitting at this table because we like how whiskey tastes.
Right.
Amberana will take your whiskey outside of the normal.
Yeah.
Right, and there's a. I'm just gonna say
What is that?
Eric brought on a fifth pairing or sixth pairing.
We don't know what it is.
Oh.
If it's got
Talk to
Oh
us.
my God.
What is this? What is this? What is this?
the XTA.
Gooey buttercream?
Oh,
That was dessert after dessert.
that's perfect for our last pairing.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a secret sixth one. So here we are.
We didn't need a pairing.
Well, that is a true chef there. Finds out
Oh
about
my
the secret
gosh.
sixth and
Yeah.
throws in another.
And it's
Our
back
second
before it's
dessert.
gone.
That's a newer item. It's a gooey butter cake. So
It's one of my childhood favorites.
Yeah.
gooey butter cake.
Oh,
yeah,
So
I had
St.
friend
Louis
of-
butter cake, make it in house.
friend of mine, his mom made it, and it was.
Make it in 2 layers. It's gonna have that same
Oh, sure, you can have that.
vodka berry compote on it. Cream.
Yeah, you can have the base one.
Like,
But you,
Yeah.
you didn't even like that as a
You
kid.
can have all the berries.
Wow.
That was not a childhood favorite for you.
thank you.
I'm gonna take this part and let you guys split the.
Yeah, go. I was gonna say go for the bigger.
Take as much
piece.
as you want. Yeah.
You guys
That's a
split.
childhood
you guys-
favorite for you. Get that whipped cream in there.
All right, all right.
I do have to share a comment from the socials here.
Uh oh.
Sure, talk to us.
The tour guide, Tammy, apparently Jeff was one of her first tours, and she said memorable experience and slightly frightening.
Slightly frightening.
Actually, I do remember the tour. Yes,
Let me take it.
she
Oh,
was very appreciative because I knew a lot about bourbon. That's for sure.
let me borrow that
Tammy's a
bottle
people
again.
person.
I'm gonna do something.
Oh, yeah. Hope that goes with the Almirado. Good.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No, that's good.
so this one is definitely more subtle even than the last version.
So you bring in all that double, the
Yeah,
depth,
you're gonna have the
sweetness,
gumption.
the oak, that like raisin profile, and then just giving it a little
So
that cinnamon dip.
Dude, this is
Yeah.
fun.
you guys have created Whiskey War, these specific ones. So I think people see these bottles, the
Mhm.
white label, the barrel selects,
Pistol cap. Yep.
and we got the dual pistols. Which, if you haven't had
I
one of
want
these,
that.
I'm gonna hit you with this. These things are heavy.
Don't
I mean,
hit,
this thing is.
don't hit anybody
I
with it.
want that.
You're not getting.
Do not hit somebody with that.
But
I want one of those.
these are limited releases. So
Yeah.
every year you guys come out with different blends, different
Yep.
finishes. So when was this one done?
Oh goodness.
So this was a barrel select. So that's sort of our series where Dylan and I get to have a lot of fun with our finishing. And so that's when we do our wine finish barrels, the Armagnac, cognac, different spirits.
Okay.
And again, this is what you're live.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. All right.
Yeah.
that is a great pairing, Eric.
I hate
This
that
is where
one.
Ambarana was
The
born.
sugar in that gooey butter cake is perfect for this.
As a barrel select was Ambarana. That was its start. And so these are sort of these explorative finishes and releases
Yeah.
that we do. So this was released December of 2025. We did our double series. So it was our double finished in Ambarana, our double finished again in New Oak. So it was double oaked. And then this double batch. So that was our December release. We do a couple a
Yeah,
year.
every year we do a do. Ho, ho, ho.
Ah,
So,
This year.
so this year is this year the cognac one that's sitting over in the front, the Ambarana cognac?
We might have a.
Whoa!
So
That's slated for something. You'll see it. You'll see it soon enough.
I might or might not have drank out of that several times.
yeah, we
there's
ran
something else
during
that
March
we might be able to get into
Yeah.
that I think has kind of kickstarted this trend we've been doing and taking things back towards this traditional accepted whiskey flavor where it's oak vanilla caramel. So the first time we did it was a Pedro Jimenez cask.
Yeah, sherry. Yeah.
We have a butt cask over there, huge. It's 130 gallons, so too big for a single buyer. But I took 50 gallons of that and then reintroduced that to New American Oak.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting all of that super caramel, toffee. I almost described it that release as
I
like
think
this Boston cream pie.
This should
but
be a drink.
yeah, no, seriously.
I mean, you should serve up a little piece of
So-
this
A little.
with a pour of that. And
Do we
just
do a
having
little
the
drizzle?
table at I mean, my God,
It's
out of
hard
all
not.
the things that paired.
This is hard not to interrupt. It's hard to. It's
Yeah.
so
I'm low key more mad
But
at myself for not
I
getting more
have
of
a
that-
double.
more of that butter
a
cake.
double
Oh, it's
double.
gone.
It's
I have
a
a
PA.
Pedro Whiskey War Barrel Proof finished in Pedro Jimenez that I have double. 6 months in a secondary oak barrel and 6 months in a tertiary oak barrel. Or quaternary, I think.
Yeah.
Here, Austin,
But
would
we
you
can
like
try
my
that off
last
camera.
bite?
We can try both of them.
Sorry, I was rude.
If you make another one, I'm not gonna lie.
I think that would pair. Just toss it right on top. Let it.
Yeah, I could just
Put
set
it on the
in
big
your
rock.
lap.
Put it on the big rock.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, so I think when I first started, I came here before you had the other locations. I came here and I got a barrel proof, and the Whiskey Ward single barrel or the barrel selects were so hard to get. Like there was like once or twice a year,
Yeah.
and I wanted those daggone guns so bad. And I had bought one of these. I come in, and I can't remember who was here that was running it, but it was just about the time the Gatana store was opening, and he was moving over that way.
Jensen.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I said, "Man, I really want those." He's like, "Hang on." And so he went back and got me them.
That's why he got fired.
Well, I'm going to tell you what though. What it did
wasn't fired.
It's not true. It's not
So,
true.
I can make
But what he did
Bleep
at that
that
point for
out.
me, it took me, I'll bet you in the time I was in bourbon to get a bottle of that took at least 2 years. I could never get one.
We had people,
But-
yeah.
But I got those, and it's still to this day is on the first bottle of barrel proof that I ever got.
awesome.
And he got me to where I wanted, by doing that one little thing, I wanted to be more like I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted more high vein.
So if you guys want to take it one step further, you should just put letters that spell out Whiskey War on each one.
No.
So a W on one.
No. Hey,
That's a
our
great
production.
idea.
Has
We
anybody
have-
ever done that before?
This many people in our production team with 3.
And
James,
all three are
myself,
0.
and Mike.
No,
and
you
we,
have some-
I'm not looking at the. Oh, this one's a
Yeah,
W.
Megan's great.
No.
We love Megan.
Yeah.
She's
And
very
Megan, yeah,
helpful.
she's our secret weapon. But I'm not looking at those and be like, no, there's
You got it
already
right,
been
we
another
did.
W in
We
that
need
box.
another.
I can't do it.
It-
I love that.
Eric,
thought.
It would be a W,
Crazy.
a big W, and a little W.
Mm.
Oh my god.
We're trying to figure out
We
which.
had this.
which
Not
one's
that
which.
you need to
Blend-
do that.
yeah.
You already said.
Is it at least
Yeah.
It's better.
This is
I'm not kidding you. It is good by itself, but the whiskey makes it better
No,
as it does the
This
whiskey.
the pairing today was
This is beautiful.
phenomenal.
These were all great. I was very
each one
impressed
of them
by.
makes the other one better.
Phenomenal. But while you're eating it and you drink the whiskey goes crazy. Now, if you do it and then you have the whiskey afterward, you pick up a little bit more oak.
Mhm.
But when you do them together at the same time, it's unbelievable. It was by far the pairing of the day. You know what I mean? As far as
There you go.
the
Tony, what was your pairing of the day?
yeah.
Let's get on the line. Pairing of the day.
We
POD.
had another
POD.
butter cake that we tried again with.
Oh yeah.
I was looking for chocolate
As he
cake
gets
here.
it.
I'm
You have a chocolate sundae?
Give me like 10 minutes.
That's how good. That's how good he is.
Hey,
All right. So yeah.
we'll find another bottle. Don't worry. There's probably midnight cast barrel proof around
We
here
can
somewhere.
scare something up.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite one? What is your favorite pairing?
Oh man, probably definitely the butter cake with the double amberana is a close first with the double no we have the double oak and the
Yeah, the gooey butter and the pancakes were pretty close.
yeah.
Mm.
What was yours?
So I would say I agree with you. The double amberana with this cake, gooey cake is, and then if he had it warm, it would take it to like another level.
Is it
But I will.
low battery?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, that,
But can you just okay? Because I still got 20, and we're almost done. Yeah, that'll keep it
You think?
floating. And then
We're just getting
but
started.
I will say the chicken, the honey chicken
Yeah.
with what was that
Double.
the double just pulled the oak out for me.
Mhm.
Not in a way like
you gotta
sometimes
pick one.
No,
pick
it's
two.
second
You can have
place.
two.
You can pick one.
I picked two. You can pick two. Don't let him. Don't let him.
But it's second
Go through
place.
them all.
Like
I
I'm just
just
looking
said,
like
no, I just
like
said first and second.
skewered
It was
chicken
close.
realm.
No, yeah, I love the oakiness of the bourbon with the chicken and the honey, and I
Those
love
flavors,
it
yeah.
pulled it out. Now, if I was just drinking a bourbon and it had that much oak, that's a little different. You know what I mean? That's not always my favorite flavor, but with the chicken, it paired phenomenal. But I mean, that's like a main course. This is dessert.
There's some easy picks today. I
I mean,
think.
we all know
Right, it was all
that
good.
if we could
I
just
didn't
eat
think there was
dessert
a
all the
myth,
time
but-
and it was good for you, all we would be doing, we would never eat chicken or anything. It's good, but if that's what you could do, that's
Yeah,
what you would
seriously.
do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sadly, well, I guess I say sadly, all these pairings are possible except for the last one we did.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. That bottle, unfortunately.
Unless you got it at home, make some good friends.
Yeah.
who really like.
So
whiskey
this is
wine.
the
Find
first
somebody that
time
lives here.
ever
no.
that I will pick not sweet over because I'm a sweet tooth. Oh
I
my
think
God.
I might lean.
I am going Rangoons.
Yeah.
Yes.
The barrel proof.
Yes.
That was freaking
Awesome.
My
favorite.
I can't go
amazing.
sweet. Yeah, I can't go
I
sweet.
loved
Those are
all.
good pairings.
I don't even like the Amburata that
Yeah.
much, and this was killer. But that was
I didn't expect that. That was the one that was like, all right, low expectations
Yeah.
lead to best results
the
for
high
me.
proof spirits with that spice.
Oh.
It definitely cuts like it.
I was scared of it. 'Cause I
Yeah.
thought it was like, oh, spicy ranch and high proof is going to be
No,
so
yeah,
spicy, but
yeah.
the opposite. Yeah.
No,
Well, I think the spicy ranch creaminess helped that barrel proof.
Yeah, smooth
It
the
was-
proof out.
I'd be
Was there a
curious
bad
to see.
pairing? No.
Did anybody do a bite of just chorizo Rangoon without the spicy ranch, like the creaminess of that buttermilk that we do? Was there a bite of just chorizo Rangoon and barrel proof? Because I did.
I know. That
I
split
only-
mine
I
into
only-
fours, so but I think it all had a little bit
So
of that
I
ranch on
did.
there.
I only drizzled a little spicy ranch on the corner of mine, and
It was
the
better
whole
without
thing
it.
was great.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, we actually did.
Yeah, I think the spice
we-
picked up without the
we did one
spicy
with
butter
just the
ranch.
cheese filling.
Mm.
Like
Oh.
there was just that's what was left, and you
Yeah.
shake that, and that was pretty good. So that was a very what would you say? There was many different
Versatile.
yeah. There's so many different aspects of tasting that
Yeah.
Rangoon, and it was beautifully prepared. But I felt that the Rangoon was actually so exceptional, and then it was more like drinking wine with the pairing was like having wine. It
Yeah.
was complementing it opposed to infusing with it.
I mean, with whiskey, you're working with grain, so there is
Right.
this element of a little bit of breadiness that I think kind of paired well with that like pastry dough or
Yeah.
with a phyllo dough or whatever
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
using. And I think it just brought all the other spices out.
I mean, we're leaving the donut behind even.
I
Yeah, I don't
know.
like that. Yeah,
I think the
cinnamon-
sacred pairing was great.
that donut was great.
Yeah,
Donut-
James, get in there.
That
Yeah.
donut cigar was awesome. That or the Rangoon. I think those are my
Okay.
two. The cigar
I
cast
feel
and
like
barrel
the
proof
cigar
were
cast and
awesome.
donut was the most obvious pairing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Right.
For
It-
sure.
It felt like
Yeah.
it should
It
go
worked
together. It did
together.
go together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and the whiskey war with the burrata to me.
Okay, if
Those-
he has chocolate
those-
cake, what's the
No, he brought.
What do we got next? We'll find something.
Bro, I wasn't even joking.
There it is.
Yes, thank you so much. Eric.
So can you explain this, please? Yeah.
This one and
I
another.
think, yeah, we added this piece. I think would really go well, you know.
yeah?
Eric,
with
we
whatever.
released a page of
Double
double.
childhood memory.
I don't know if you guys want to share with Austin or not, but I definitely didn't get it. I think
Austin, you haven't had it this yet, have you?
Is this still the gooey butter cake?
It's still the gooey butter cake.
Oh, it's the same one. I thought
No,
it
the
was
gooey
the-
butter
okay.
cake came back.
Thank
As,
you very much.
this is like an encore.
I asked another.
I'm
Yeah.
taking a little bit of it.
The applause was so.
It's warm even. Holy moly!
Well, once you just
Hey, wait a minute.
Just
Hold on a second. Can I have the green bottle?
yeah.
Austin?
no, Austin.
No, he's out. No, he's on island.
Let's. Here we go.
Y'all got extra silverware? No.
Just plopped it.
That's all you need.
Who wants to watch me eat? Maybe.
All right. Well,
So-
let's wrap up
Yeah,
this
let's
part.
wrap it up.
Okay, for this, we'll still
This
be
is-
live for a little bit, but live from Whiskey War in
The
Columbus,
War Room. In
the
a-
War Room.
Rick's house.
This is
Rick's house
Yeah.
brought to you by the Rick House.
Rick's house.
in the
So we're in the War Room in Rick's house.
There's a lot of
Sure.
things going
Okay.
on.
Yeah. All right.
No.
I
Some people have a Rick's house or a Rick house. We
I
have
like
a
to
Rick's
call it the boom
house.
boom room. myself.
No.
Actually.
Oh, I like it.
That's how you get in trouble.
A jazz club. Bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
my goodness.
yeah. I think there was a song made after that.
Yeah, also back in saying,
Who's going to do the promotion? How to get your website, where you're located, all
Tony.
do all the.
He's the
Yeah, so you can you want to purchase online. You can find us at sealbox.com. Website highbankdistillery.com. You can also get the seal box from there. But we're mainly sold via Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. It's probably going to go to
For
the store
seal
and
box,
purchase it.
yeah.
But if you want to go on seal box, you can probably get us in around, what is it?
33.
Most
33
states, yeah.
So yeah,
That's exciting.
bankdistillery.com, and then there's a scroll down to the bottom in the footer. You can find our whiskey down there and purchase it online.
Or you can come see us in Grandview.
Yeah.
Stare through the glass long enough at the still. James and I will probably bring you back.
We'll
And
be back.
just
Yeah,
look-
yeah. If you
look
press your face
blindly.
up against it,
And
we'll
when
say,
you come here, there's always special bottles. Like right now, is it
People
the Love
always
Cab or
Love Cab is out, yeah. Always
Love
a
Cab.
barrel selector, a single barrel up front.
So-
So our Granby locations, definitely in Gahanna and Westerville. Those tend to go out faster because we have to restock those. But here at Granby, we usually have
plus
the-
killer
the-
T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats,
Mhm.
you know, candles, all
Your
kinds of
merch.
Yeah,
glassware, you
Yeah.
name it.
Make whiskey not war.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lot of swag, a lot of swag.
And we're www.scotchybourbonboys.com for some of the same stuff. Actually, CT's been making great T-shirts, so we know
Double.
especially
Yeah.
if you guys want one of these.
double double.
he'd be glad to make you one.
Oh
Check
yeah.
it out. Just
Uh-huh.
let us know. Get in contact.
You
We
know
got hoodies coming soon.
Michael
right?
Bublé, but do you know
Yeah,
double
Yeah,
Bublé?
Bublé, I know that.
Double double.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and also Apple,
That's good.
iHeart, and Spotify, and anywhere else you want to listen or watch us. We're pretty much there. But
Hey.
remember,
First thing, support Ohio, support our craft whiskey companies in this state, and we love the rest of you, but support Ohio.
yeah, well, Ohio's got it going on.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's on a roll. It's just like
100%.
you know, we want to. There's an Ohio. What would you say? Some people call it funk, but it's not funk. It's just like the profile of Ohio whiskeys, fantastic. So
We have great grain in Ohio. That's the other
Great,
thing.
yeah.
We are one of the few states south of the very northern belt that can produce rye.
Well,
So, the fact
New
that-
York ryes are very popular.
Yeah, Sagamore and,
Yeah,
and now
embrace that.
and now
Pennsylvania.
yeah, exactly. So
Don't be cookie cutter.
yeah, so Ohio has this great grain that we produce. We can do grain to glass. And however you start or however you do it, but you guys are doing a lot of good things. And that's what I want people to realize is that we have such great opportunity in Ohio that you don't have to go to Kentucky to enjoy a bourbon experience.
Yeah.
I mean, they're different. Enjoy them. Go do them. Go
Yeah,
to
do it all.
go to Texas. Go to wherever. But if you live in Ohio, man, you owe it to yourself to come here and order this
Gooey butter cake.
freaking gooey butter cake. And I'm just gonna tell you, I paired it with that one. I don't think it matters. This is
No, it's pretty good.
the gooey.
That's a
butter
good
cake
review.
will go good with anything,
Yeah.
and might even be good with some stuff that's not so good. So
Yeah.
this stuff is killer. So
Yes.
thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Good,
Yeah.
good bourbon equals good times with good friends, and that's
Right.
what we did today. I find bourbon is like the glue that of getting together with people and enjoying everybody, your company, and it just breaks down all barriers. Remember, drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, and live your life uncut and unfiltered. And you're supposed to do the theme song now. I play a new theme song.
I don't have a theme song. What are you talking about? I didn't have that. ready.
Why is that?
Where was that part?
To Eric.
Just-
Thank you, Eric.
That's it.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Aaron.
Chef
Oh,
Eric.
you're gonna play that one again?
Austin.
I can't. Yeah, the other one's on soon.
Come see us.
Awesome.
Support High Bank.
Yes.
Yes.
What we're here for. Support you, not us. It's this.
Yeah.
Come get this. Come support Eric.
I need a great dinner.
Yeah, if you've already tried our stuff, didn't like it, come back, try it again.
This is
That's
a problem.
I know.
Why do you have
Diabetes.
athlete? Why did I not? How did you end up with
I lumped mine off on Austin, and then I kept drinking. And I kept
Kept
eating.
sauce.
I gave him like one little slop. I gave him one little slop, and I said, I'm gonna keep it extra close.
Oh, this.
Yeah, we should go drink some other stuff off.
Oh yeah. This is great though. Nice.
That was a lot of fun.
Actually,
I think that was a sweet whiskey. The pairings were awesome. Those pairings were Eric. Chef's kiss, dog.
yeah, dude.
No, I think that. So I think we came into this with some safe ones, but like you shifted. I think our wild one was the chorizo rangoons. You shifted that to barrel proof, and I think that was like our favorite pick of the day. Yeah, outside of the safe picks, I think that was the best one.
It was like, yeah,
Thank you guys. We're still live on YouTube and Facebook, so just know.
Yeah, keep
Well, ours,
Language?
No, language isn't about it. No secrets. I mean, I've gone offline and people think all of a sudden it's like, oh, but we got to.
So here's everything we got going on.
We don't really filter much anyway, so I'm always shocked that people are like, "Oh, are we
Come
off
visit.
now?" You're
Come
like, they drop something. You're like, you could have done that anyway.
I mean, I feel like a lot of this whole industry is who you're drinking with, your atmosphere.
Yeah,
There's a story, but the emotion really brings people together.
yeah.
It's about
The nuances between mash bills. There's only so much.
Right. For every podcast, do a pairing.
So if James is shitty when you come in, I apologize.
Where did that come from?
I'm just kidding. I'm making jokes. Come on, we're not
A ray
lying.
of sunshine. It's like
He
my
is
whole
a
thing.
He's so good with people.
No, that's one thing I love about like working here is that like and Dylan J's are a testament to it to where with Adam, it's like it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, right? It's like he brings everybody into the process of like tasting and blending, right? And like gets their perspective. And I would say honestly, between the three, so you, Dylan, James, and
sorry,
are the main three that kind of will taste and blend things together, and then they'll bring Adam comes in and tastes, and then me and like Jenna and other people come in, but like we're all kind of usually consistent
Yeah.
on like the ones we like. You know, I know you guys picked the wrong one for Francisco this year. It'd be fine. I'm kidding.
What'd you like?
120.
No,
What did we?
I just want to say they sent what I liked.
They did.
They sent what I liked.
What did they send?
120. I was the
120.
only one.
122.
I was the only one that liked
122 got sent.
No, 120 got sent. Because that was my favorite.
First,
Oh.
You guys want to try the Infinity? All of them
Yes,
mixed
yes,
together
I do.
except the Ambrana.
When can I pee?
What?
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live. It's too late. You just go. Just go.
I've been waiting.
You've ruined continuity. Just go.
Or still,
not trying
I
to-
don't need anymore right. Why?
You're the one.
That's why I
Awesome. Any questions? Any
Apple.
What do you got from the
Oh.
crowd?
comments? Did we miss anything?
You want to try just a little?
Yep.
Michael Bublé.
Hey, did I show you I misspelled double?
No, you can't.
I swear to God.
I don't know that it was.
I had
might have been AI. I think AI misspelled.
But I had several different versions
Do you want to try
done,
the Infinity?
and I
Of
picked
no
this
Ambrana.
one and sent it to the to do this.
Probably grab one up
print,
there.
And I get
That's
it back, and I'm like,
You don't mind if I drink out of your cup, do you?
I don't. It's
double.
whiskey.
You can say we're all friends here now.
Yeah, but it's whiskey. It's just that's gonna kill it.
You'll
all.
never know.
Speak French.
It's like an apple.
Yeah.
It's like an apple flavor.
It's like that. Yeah, they're like
When we
apple,
walked in, they
cinnamon,
were like,
cranberry.
Eric
Yeah.
speaks two languages. He speaks
That's nice.
French, and I'm like, then he'll read it.
I think
Doobada-doobla.
I think you said one French word.
What? Du blé?
Yes.
On met du fromage?
There you go.
Oh, that's good.
Amuse fromage. Oui, oui.
Oh my God.
S'il vous plaît.
It works though.
My only fun part.
Don't let Eric trick you. Eric speaks
Is
fluent
is
French.
Eric married?
Yes.
Okay, so he's not using just that one word.
I guess it's somebody in America.
Eric speaks fluent French. So don't fool you. That's awesome. I think it's an awesome flex. That
It is a beautiful language.
It is beautiful language.
I don't want
No,
any
you
more.
gotta try it.
Oh my God.
It's the Infinity.
That's like so raisiny.
It's just flavors in there that just isn't it? That's blending, right? You do two barrels.
That's the beauty of
so
blending.
separate, then you put them together.
Yeah.
And there's strawberry or something like that on it.
Yeah, so like in our double oaked and our double and the cigar, but double oaked and double especially, it's like we try 10. It's like, all right, we need 5 to go in a blend. This one's extra sweet. This is front, back. You know,
Yeah.
the palate's really good on this, and nose is really good on this, and then you sort of smack it all together. And
I
sometimes
love
it
what
works
you
and
guys
sometimes it
did.
doesn't.
The event for 97 won the fan.
Oh my
When we had the 4 stations with the different ways of double oaking.
still got some.
That was so like it was funny because I think people coming in they had one particular bottle that they really wanted.
Yeah.
That was not the one that I liked because it was too I don't want to say sweet, but it had a note that wasn't my favorite. But the other one was really good to me. And it was just really a nice experience to go through and drink those 4 different batches. And they were different chars or toasts, I think. Is that what it was? 97.
We used to call it the gunpowder series. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That wasn't 97.1. That was a.
Oh, that was different. I'm sorry.
No, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It
was the Patriot and the
Yeah.
you're right. That was different. Yeah.
So it
the
was.
bootlegger was the one I liked.
We used to call it the gunpowder series. Somebody in Maine.
what did we
that
do
didn't
the-
like it. We used that. It was their.
What did we
But that
do
was
extra?
that's what it was. It wasn't the 97.1. It was that release of
that Whiskey Society. It was the
Yeah.
4 stations. There were different chars and toasts, each 4.
Yeah.
That
That
were
was
just
good.
cask
The
strength bottles,
97
which was really fun.
We did tack that
That's just
on to
wood,
one of the
right?
other releases.
Exactly. But that was the great thing about it was to see what the wood did to the same thing, like totally changed it. Like they all 4 had their own different nuance to them.
Yeah, just what that
Um,
toast level, what that char level, and how
Yeah,
to
that
do it.
gradient of how you're getting a little bit more lignin, a little bit more vanillin,
Yeah.
where you're dancing within that tannin influence. Things
Yeah,
come out spicier, things come out more festivity.
So that series and then this year we had the River series. What
travel cruise.
Travel.
The Ohio, the OHLQ picks.
Yeah. Those that one was it was crazy.
A lot of people in that gunpowder series was the fact that they called out the char and the toast levels and everything.
Yeah.
Like
That was unique.
You gotta have a menu to select from,
Yeah. It was unique.
If you're familiar with what that is going to do on like a gradient scale, which is what I try to do every time we do a barrel select or a barrel pick, I mean that we're kind of working within that, like light toast to heavy
Yeah.
toast. You're working in this like unlocking this. Okay, this is going to be more vanilla to more caramel. In the middle is more of this baking spice and nuttiness, but it's all just this conversion of lignin
Mhm.
that all you're trying to do is that spicy clove note, take that with heat, convert that to vanillin.
Well, the educated buyer knows what those profiles are going to result.
But even some educated don't. Like
No,
it's
but
like some
even
people
then,
don't know
you
that
like
char
your
4
char-
or char 5. And that's what I liked about that. It
Well,
was
it's not
like
universal either,
complex.
which is
Right.
fucked.
yeah, it's like it was able somebody to drink it and be like, "Oh, this had no toast, that one had a little toast," and they're like, "That's what I like," or because like some toasted barrels for me, the toast takes over the flavor profile of the bourbon. I think that toasting gets so
Well, some of
sweet.
those toast barrels are
Yes.
strictly toasted.
Yeah, and
they're
they-
not charred.
And they get so high vanillins and stuff that it's like I can't taste
It
the
is.
bourbon
Yes,
because the toast is so strong.
very. It's just like all I taste is marshmallow.
Correct. So
It's like
it's
that
like, but I don't think
brown
people
marshmallow.
know that until you do like you guys did, and it's like, oh, that's why.
And then so that PX, the 97.1 that I think you were mentioning, that PXDO, I was getting these very coffee dessert
sweet.
sweet. I think PX to me sometimes goes too far.
Well, there's a
It goes into this red breast PX to me is
yes,
Very, like,
sweet.
wine carry forward.
to the point where there's only times that I would want that.
Well, there's a reason
So
why.
I took it to this like let me layer some vanilla on top. Of
Yeah, why Fraley only puts a small percentage of that in her cigar blend is because it doesn't. It would overpower the Armagnac and the
She
cognac.
does that triple cast.
Yeah, she
So-
uses the sherry in a smaller amount.
See you, James.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. No, you're good. Thank you.
So yeah,
Thank you,
that-
James.
that-
Yeah, my pleasure.
well, she does a coupe de mir, which is an accepted batch already. So she
Mhm.
makes an accepted batch. She layers, which she's dropping triple cask down.
She's on
Triple-
things.
Triple cask is dropping down. I have Petite Sauve started, which is what she's doing with Tanager.
Oh
I
yeah.
was actually going to bring that up.
Oh
Have you had it?
Tanager.
yeah, I have not.
Alright, you guys know we're still on, right?
Yes. Yeah, just make sure we're still live, Dylan.
I'm not dropping.
No, Tanager is a still Austin bottle that's
But so that's what the cigar
really
cask-
well liked.
cigar
Yeah.
cask is what I would describe as a flavor-driven product. It's not driven from a barrel type. It doesn't have to be strictly oak. It doesn't have to have a single process.
But-
So Nancy has two processes. She has the Coupe de Mire, triple cask, and then what she finishes in Armagnac in single barrels. That's a batch. Each single barrel of Armagnac is a batch of Joseph Magnus. Then she goes to Still Austin. She does a red, white, and blue corn that she then proofs down with what they call a small waters method or petites eaux. It's cognac driven, which is a lot of her derivative processes is from this old world cognac industry because it's got so much more life. Brandy being basically just a sister to what whiskey is,
Well, I mean,
and just being a fermented and distilled product that is then oak aged for long periods of time. But that being a derivative of the wine industry has been around much longer than a grain fermented or a grain fermented product that has then been redistilled. So the processes that they have been doing have been centuries,
right.
millennia.
And then, but the Armagnac and the cognac are classic.
So that's where the
cigar.
cigar. That's where
Those-
cigar.
That's what people used to smoke cigars with that form. Of.
So cigar cask has been
Right.
in the cigar or this cognac realm for a long time.
Right. So what translates to bourbon or whiskey into cigar blend is aging it in those cigar barrels. Those barrels. that were
The
classic
barrels.
cognac.
So cigar, old world, like I said. I'm just coining it
How
back.
did Amarana get into it?
A New World with the Starlight.
Okay,
So
the
it's
Amarana
this
was like the anise,
numbing,
the cognac,
that anise effect was so like I said, Amberana, more wood derived polyphenols or flavonoids
versus previous spirits.
Yeah.
in general just is going to impart more of those on your base spirit than any other wood type. So
But Amarana is a wood, right?
yes.
And cognac and
Oh.
Armagnac are actual liqueurs, right?
Well, they're
Spirit
So
brandy.
they're like a brandy.
Yeah.
One's
They're
pot
like
stilled,
brandy.
one's column
Those
stilled.
casks, like
So
cognac.
they're French oak. They're French oak
Mhm.
aged. But these are so like I said, the cigar cask terminology has lived within this cognac industry for a long time
Right.
because they have paired cognacs with cigars for
Mm-hmm.
for decades. They've been making cognac for far longer than we have been making whiskey.
There's no legal definition, right? I mean,
No,
it's
yeah,
just
no.
what
Correct.
they do.
So that's why I'm saying this is a flavor driven product,
I mean, they
which
were-
is why Nancy, being this cognac and old world, what I'll call old world driven blender, she has practiced. All of her practices are within this cognac. Small waters is a cognac driven practice. Brandies and cognacs have a higher oil and fat content than whiskey, which they're more susceptible to saponification. If you introduce water to the base spirit too fast, it becomes soapy.
Yes.
So they're just reintroducing these whiskeys. They're introducing the whiskey industry to practices that have lived
Been around
within
for-
this brandy industry for
Ever.
forever.
Yes.
But they're so Still Austin is imparting this small waters method because Texas whiskey ages very aggressively and is very, very, very fast aging.
Yeah. So you
So
introduce water.
It's too sharp
Yeah.
and too.
It'll fight itself. Like
So you need rather than taking a product from very sharp and harsh notes, in imparting zero flavor to that, and then hoping that that flavor in between is acceptable, you age essentially 50 proof whiskey in a barrel for a certain amount of time. Now, cognac, they're doing this for a year because if you want to add it to cognac, it has to be barrel rested in cognac for a year in France, in that region, in French oak for a year to be added to cognac. Now, what she's doing is just trying to get barrel oils and get to a flavor profile that she's not imparting zero flavor to a whiskey that is too harsh and too sharp. She's trying to round it with the barrel oils barrel soluble sugars, everything in between those cellulose and hemicellulose layers that isn't going to be targeted by that high proof spirit.
Right.
She doesn't
The
want
oil
the
helps.
tannin, and she wants
Yeah.
the tannins that the high proof spirit is targeting and pulling into flavor is going to be more soluble at low proof. So you're dissolving all of those bitterness,
Mm.
and you're just going to be pulling sugars.
So how
Cool.
much
Very cool.
cognac and Armagnac are you drinking doing a cigar? So it seems like you completely understand the process, okay? When you're talking, that's the best explanation for cigar blends for whiskey that I've ever had. That's why you're still on YouTube Live. I'm glad everybody got that.
Okay.
Because you're right. No, we don't get a lot
You're
of.
telling me now that I'm getting into cigars a little bit.
Mhm.
CT and Martin are into it a lot, but they like cigar blends. But we should actually be experimenting with
100%.
smoking cigars
Yeah.
with some cognac and some Armagnac. I mean, I've had cognac before. Cavassier, I think, is cognac,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've never had an Armagnac. I
Oh.
don't even know what it tastes
You'll
like.
you'll have
It's
some.
single distilled brandy. I don't think
Yeah.
it's again. It's
So
Is it like sherry?
so brandy is pot stilled.
Yeah.
And Armagnac is column stilled. One time.
Okay.
Sure.
Too, right?
Huh?
It's regionally based.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Different
but I
regions of
love
France. Yeah.
Anything with Armagnac finish,
It
I like it better.
it's a
than cognac.
very
Crepey.
if you
It's
drank
not, cognac's bitter.
Yeah.
Armagnac is a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
So-
and I love Armagnac
You
finish.
get more of that grape.
which
note, for
which is
sure.
going to tie in good because here shortly we have Turner Wathen coming on from Rolling Fork. So if you know Turner, his Wathen family. So Turner's coming on the podcast in a couple of weeks. And he and I have been talking because he does not only rum, but he does Armagnacs. He does Calvados. He does all these really eccentric, what I call eccentric, different flavors that we don't see in
And
this
now he's
world.
doing bourbon.
And he's doing bourbon, and he does a really good bourbon. But like Armagnacs, when you get to a 16-year Armagnac, and it is so dark and beautiful, and it tastes, you don't know that you're not drinking something that it's just amazing.
I mean, I'm not familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably like
So good. So good.
20-year port where it's a
an Armagnac finish, but I've
Yeah.
never had Armagnac. So
Oh,
I mean, I need
I
to
have a bottle at the
Armagnac.
house.
for sure.
And after you just said what you said, it completely makes sense. I understood always that cognac was because my father-in-law, my great father-in-law was Italian, but he loved Cavassier, and when he smoked a cigar, he would dip it in the bottom in Cavassier, whatever, and then have with the thing of Cavassier.
Our Armagnac finishes go like this: raisin bran crunch.
Okay.
It's oats.
Yep.
Like a sugared oat cereal, like that
Yeah.
granola
So how many have you done?
braininess.
At least two, right?
We released one for Artist Series last year, which was Creamalicious, and then we just sold a blend, which is part of this year's Artist Series.
Of cognac?
We have
No,
to join the club.
so
Which one are you talking about?
so
Cognac? or
Artist
Armagnac?
Series this year we did a cream sherry blend, which
Yeah.
was a blend of PX sherry finishes
Oh.
with an Oloroso sherry finish.
Has
as well.
not come out. It's not come out yet.
Oloroso and PX Sherry finish to an Armagnac. They're both
so-
brandies, right?
Yeah.
Just coming
So-
from different regions of France.
Sherries are wines, not
Okay,
distilled spirits.
it's not a brand.
PX sherry is going to be basically the equivalent of like a sun-dried tomato to regular tomato.
Is the
So
sherry
that is,
fortified?
they're pulling these, they're white grapes. They're pulling these grapes off stems, I believe, and then they're resting them. They're basically sun drying them to where they're like leaching this brown.
If only we had
liquid.
someone
It's-
from
it's
France
actually a
yeah,
in
brown
the room with us.
So it's leaching this very like concentrated syrup.
Solid ferments, condensed.
Yes. So stems,
Oui, oui.
It's someone.
skin, like the whole flesh. of
Ladies and
grape
gentlemen,
are
Michael
just sitting
Bublé.
there.
Well, Armagnac's from the
Just oxidized.
Like a sun-dried tomato.
Yes, like I
Like
said,
on
it would be the equivalent of tomato sauce versus sun-dried
Well, I
tomato
understand
sauce.
they wanted to make
How much
something
more
as close
sweet
to
would that
Steve as
sun-dried tomato
possible,
sauce be?
Where it's like
It's a
sweeter
it's
on
a
not
dessert
super
wine.
Naturally,
Yeah.
naturally
So you get like a
But it could be
very
a potential link
coffee,
opportunity in the future.
heavy raisin, almost.
So what they're doing,
golden
right?
raisin.
Right?
I'm getting a cut on that.
Scotchy.
That I'm getting a cut on.
To me, when paired with whiskey, it's like a Boston cream pie. Like I said, very chocolatey, very vanilla custard.
Oh, you want me to do it right now?
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah. Too about like the alchemy or something. I was like, that could be a good little alchemy.
the Oloroso. So there's two sweet sherries, PX being the sweetest, and then 5 dry sherries. Oloroso being the sweetest of dry. So you
That's the
combine
one you
those
see the most,
two
yeah.
together, you get a cream sherry, which is traditionally a dessert wine. We then combined that with an Armagnac and just made it even more
And that's what we're gonna
oaty, brandy,
and that's what we're
creamy.
gonna see here in a minute.
And yes,
Yeah.
that
The cream sherry?
that is artist
See with our eyes.
We'll get moving forward. And I will end this on YouTube. I didn't get to end it on Facebook because the phone died, but we went as far as we could go.
So we're calling that bottle the double buble.
Double
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
On YouTube.
Peace.